We're on. Okay. Well, now I'm on. So I don't know what I'm on. Drugs, I think.
Life.
The drugs of life.
There you go.
That's it. Well, once again, good morning to you. About 8 minutes away from our regular broadcast here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show for a Saturday. This is December the 3rd, is it not?
Yes, it is.
All day.
Yeah.
Whew, that's scary. So in our original test run, we were giving you a rundown of what's coming up today, so let me continue that. As I mentioned to you before, Carolina Serrato's Professional Auto Care is going to join us at the top of the hour, that 9 o'clock hour, and we're going to...
Sounds good.
We're going to talk about winter car make-ready and travel make-ready. Jeffrey Zekin has got a special feature on family cruisers, the 5 best American station wagons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to tear up. I'm actually going to. I'm tearing up right now. I may have to use the restroom and then come back.
Mr. Mars, if you'd be so kind as to check the fine folks there at
The old
iHeart, please. Okay. At the bottom of the hour, 9:30, we're going to have John Rawson, Pro-Am Auto Accessories.
Cool.
You know, it's Christmas time. Let's talk about Christmas gifts, car related.
Yep.
And he's going to have Christmas ideas for the auto enthusiast, including a racing update. Well, I don't know what that means, but a racing update.
Well, he's involved in racing.
I'm sorry, but there is no racing.
Well, no, but racing never stops in the shop.
Oh, okay.
You're always doing something to that hot rod race car.
We're going to have the car clinic, and then at the 9 o'clock hour, which will be Central Time, we're going to have Brad Thompson, God's Garage. He's going to give us an update on car giveaways for needy women.
Holidays, and I wonder if he's in his new shop.
I don't know. Mr. Mars is going to do a review of the Infiniti QX50.
Oh, nice.
Which is a nice ride.
Yep.
Then at the bottom of the hour, next hour, will be Rochelle Salinas with the Houston Auto Show. You know that's coming up.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's really the Houston Auto and Boat Show.
Right. And 2 years ago, we suggested
or RV or campers or whatever it is.
Something outdoorsy, but we suggested that a couple of years ago, and they took our suggestion to put
I don't know as if
the water in the cars and all that stuff
Well,
together.
I don't know as if they would give us credit
Well,
for that,
no, but we'll let them
we'll
have it.
We'll take the credit.
We'll let them have it, too.
Yeah.
We'll let you have it.
And in the 10 o'clock hour, Clint Cox with the Texas VW Drag Racing Association.
That's cool.
One of the things that I went to back in my drag racing days in high school, out there at Houston International Raceway on the Gulf Freeway in Dickinson, I was standing along the fence line watching the cars take off at the start line, right? And this guy in a Volkswagen pulls up. Regular Bug, okay? The only thing that was different about it, it didn't have the engine cover on it, the trunk lid, if you will, and instead it had a set of headers on it into one collective that was probably about that long sticking out the back. It looked like a Stinger.
Or a dune buggy type.
That thing flew down the racetrack at 1,000 miles an hour. My jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe it.
I want to know if they put LSs in them and tub them out. That would be so cool.
I'll tell you what. I don't care about any of that. That had a 4-banger engine in it, a regular Volkswagen that wasn't regular.
Flew low.
Yeah, It did. It flew low. And everybody went, wow, look at that. Then at 10:30 this morning, Brandon Emmons, with the C10 Truck Club. The C10 Truck Club is going to join us. Over there from Neaterville, I guess in the Neaterville area. Somebody that you've dug up over there and said, hey, did you know that there's radios and stuff like that and you can be on it with us? Did you tell them that, Mike?
Well, we had to do some digging.
We had
to find some transistor tubes to make it pick us up all the way out here.
No,
is that the same guy
it's either vacuum tubes or transistors.
Oh,
but
yeah,
not the
okay.
one.
Is that the same
Over
guy
there?
that does your weather?
You take what you can get.
Your fog weather guy?
Yeah, he's the one that didn't tell me
They
nothing
don't
about
have a
the
weather guy
fog.
that does fog.
By the way, I'm looking at a very beautiful young woman on the Zoom
She
call.
can hear you, too.
Look, and she can hear us.
She can hear you.
Yeah, I know. And so she's going to join us right at the top of the hour.
There you go.
Carolina Serratos with Professional Auto Care. So it's a full tilt, full boat.
Oh, don't say tilt.
No?
No.
How about tilt-a-whirl? Did you ever ride any of those Tilt-A-Whirls?
I'm going to get sick here.
I got very close to getting sick on a Tilt-A-Whirl. And as a matter of fact, it was a Tilt-A-Whirl kind of thing that made me sick back in the old rodeo days, back in the 60s. And I just barfed all over the place. And I had a date.
For those of you
that was
eating
the
breakfast,
one and only date I ever had with that girl. Her shoes were a different color when we got done with that day,
boy.
as you can imagine.
Boy.
And the guy, the ride operator, he was ticked because he had to go get a bucket of hot water and wash
clean
the
it
car.
up.
Ah, yeah.
Oh man!
Thank you, Don Armstrong.
Yeah, for
you win.
ruining breakfast.
Yeah. Well, and of course, it was probably something like hot chili dogs and whatever else you have out there. Good
Candy
stuff.
apples,
Yeah.
nice bright red.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. God. So I know that
think we just lost our guest.
yeah, she's gone now. But at any rate, so it's a full boat of fun and excitement post Autorama, and we'll talk about that as well. And I know Carolina walked around there for hours and hours, absorbing all of the cars that were out there. Not.
She's nodding her head, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So at any rate, it's going to be a fabulous show. Conrad's out again this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yep.
And I think that we're going to be ready, raring to go here in about 60 seconds.
I don't know about all that.
we just keep up the chatter.
You can.
Did you cut the grass this week?
No.
No. I need
been
to
too wet.
rake the leaves.
Well, yeah, you can.
No, we can't. I'm going to take the lawnmower, start it, and get out there and grind the leaves.
Well, let's wait till the show's over before you do that.
Well, I'm sure that whoever is running around the neighborhood cutting grass this morning, they'll get the lawnmower started up
there
here.
were a few folks out in the neighborhood, the crews, the usual suspects,
Right.
And no, we do our own, and because we can like doing that exercise, and you do it the way you want. And there's a guy in the neighborhood down the street that does his like at night, 6:30 when
in the evening.
Oh yeah,
when it's dark. You got the headlight on the lawnmower.
I don't know about all that.
All right. Well, I think we're going to begin this thing. You ready?
Yep.
You ready, Mars?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Somebody says you need to turn your volume up, by the way.
Who did?
Somebody. I don't recognize the number.
Okay. All right.
Just you.
Just me.
Just
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
It's all about you.
It is always about me. Hey, it's your go-to place for entertaining car talk. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Carolina Serratos walks us through making your car worthy of a trip to Aunt Mary's for the holidays.
Woohoo!
Jeff has a feature on family cruisers, the 5 best American station wagons. Is that in your mind?
In my mind,
Wagon
yeah. There's
Master's
actually
here.
about 30, but I picked 5.
Really? Okay, well, at any rate, so Jeff's going to have that. We're also going to have auto Christmas gift ideas. And we're going to have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Another bash against Carvana coming up.
Oh, boy.
It's all straight ahead. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's out today. And joining us right this very instant, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. I know that you've been waiting for her. Carolina Serratos, Professional
They're on
Auto
their
Care. Look
feet.
at that $1 million smile. Did you ever wear braces?
I did.
Did you?
Good morning.
Good
yes,
morning.
I did.
Good morning to you. Well, I know that your parents are proud because they spent thousands of dollars on
Millions.
that beautiful smile. Millions, yeah. So when we go into Professional Auto Care, that's what we're going to see. Mm-hmm. So how are you?
Nothing short of lovely. How are you guys today?
Well, we're not quite lovely, but we are nice.
We're
It's
here.
been a long
We're here.
time.
Yeah,
We
it
haven't
has
talked
been.
to her in a long time.
I know. How are things over at Professional Auto Care?
Everything's going really well. Very blessed.
Are you open today?
We are not open today. No.
Okay. You just came to the shop to do this interview?
Yes, and I have other things to do. Things that
Can't get
you
done
can't
during the
do
week?
during the week.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, well, now that we've had that discussion, it's good to talk to you. See you later. No, I'm just teasing.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Well, yeah, exactly. Matter of fact, I brought the Corvette in to see Carolina not too long ago. It was time for an inspection sticker and the once yearly oil change because I really don't put enough miles on it, but it timed out. I think once a year is probably a good thing, no matter how many miles you put on it, because it just sits there and we don't want it to get gunked up. Am I right?
Correct. I do the same thing. I have a Mini Cooper, an older one, and I do the same thing. At least once a year, I got to make sure I change that oil.
Yeah, because you don't put enough miles on that either, do you?
Oh, I don't. No, it's
Yeah.
just a little fun stick shift car.
Yeah. Well,
Very cool.
I have one of those too.
Yeah.
In-
Well, yours has a clock on it like a tractor for timing out. rather than-
that's right.
rather than
And,
mileage.
and the clock on the
Yeah.
tractor is
Oh,
right
boy.
up here.
Yeah.
So I thought we would talk to you today about travel readiness tips for winter road trips. Now, most of us that don't really leave town, some of this may not apply because we're talking about going into weather. And be honest with you, Dallas is kind of like the turning point for weather as far as freezing temperatures and that sort of stuff. As a matter of fact, my Katie and her Ford Focus, I bought her a Optima battery. Oh my gosh, 4 or 5 years ago. It finally bit the dust this week.
Oh, no.
And it probably wouldn't have bitten the dust, but she hadn't driven the car for 7 days. Okay. Usually she walks to work,
Yeah, I was
but the
gonna
weather
say.
was so cold. It was 21 degrees this particular morning. And she said,
goodness.
she lives in Denver. And so she said, okay, well, I'm just take the car to work. Well, got out there and tick, 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 it wouldn't start. And I thought, okay, well, I'm sure it's the battery. And plus, it had been sitting there for a week without the alternator running. And so I said, let's go get you a new battery. Because, as a dad, and I know that you can relate to this because you've got one too.
And she's a dad.
Yeah.
No, not.
And so I will tell you that as a dad, you don't want your daughter to be stuck in some shopping mall parking lot
Yeah.
when that sun goes down with the tick, 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 and having to deal with that. And, it's just not a safe thing to happen. And if you're lucky enough for it to fail in a parking lot, as opposed to failing on the side of the road somewhere. And so I think that, batteries are a big deal, as we like to say. Is there a way to...
100%.
Yeah.
And that really kind of ties into one of my things is just make sure you have a plan if something were to go wrong. My plan would typically involve calling my dad first
Yep.
and saying, Dad, I'm hearing this noise or I'm smelling something or what should I do? I understand not everybody has that, but even having your auto repair shop on your phone in case you do experience something, finding your AAA card and not forgetting it at home. So that way, if you need to get roadside assistance, you have what you need. So you can show your card so you can get that roadside assistance, figuring out what kind of roadside assistance you have, keeping extra bottles of water in your car, having a blanket if you're going somewhere cold. Just having a plan is going to make the whole situation so much better. So that's probably my first advice to people. Not that you want to have a problem on the road, but you got to have some sort of plan in the event that something does go wrong.
Well,
Familiarizing. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, and to embellish on that, let's not forget being stuck in a major freeway shutdown in cold weather. Do you have enough gas in the tank
Right.
to keep the
Right.
engine running, to keep the heat going? Those
Yes, that's a great point.
and the fact that so many people are driving electric cars these days.
I was thinking the
you
same
got enough
thing.
juice in the
Yep.
battery,
Exactly.
yeah, to keep the heat going. And
So don't wait till the last minute to fill up.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And if you're going to head on out, make sure that you've got a full charge or a full tank of gas. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
continue on.
Yeah. And the next thing I would say is just familiarize yourself with your car. Just taking time to look at the owner's manual. If you're geeks like my sister and I, we couldn't agree what to play on the radio one time driving to Disney World, so we just decided to read out of her owner's manual. So just familiarizing yourself with your car.
That's a good idea.
Learn how to check your oil. On some of these new cars, you can't unless you have a scan tool. But just knowing what you can and cannot do, know where your coolant reservoir is at, what kind of coolant you would need, because you don't want to be on the side of the road trying to get cell service and Googling what do I do now? Just familiarizing yourself. Open your hood. Look under your hood. Get an idea of where these caps are. So when you're under that stressful situation, you're not taking it out on people you're with, your loved ones, who everyone just wants the same goal to get wherever you're going. So I would say familiarize yourself with your vehicle. Even scheduling an appointment to go to the auto repair shop you typically go to and just ask the mechanic, hey, can you just show me what are some things that I should be keeping an eye on, or how do I check my tire pressure? Some people don't know how to do that. I would highly encourage everyone to just keep a tire pressure reader in your car. It can be a little cheap one, but in case that light starts to act up, you feel the confidence that you can pull over to a gas station without looking around frantically, showing off to people that you don't know what you're doing and you're nervous. By knowing already and having that confidence, pulling over, checking your tire, you should just get in and go back on the road. I think that's really important too.
And first aid kit is important as well.
There you go.
You put, you know, because you might, you know,
A $20 first aid kit
Yeah.
from Target or Walmart or any of those
You go
places.
to Academy, get some bear repellent, snake bite kit, all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and back to your thing about the gauges and checking, for instance, like oil. I have a friend of mine that has a 2017 Jaguar F-Pace. Well, guess what? It does not have a dipstick, I found out. No dipstick. And you have to go through a whole series of junk to check the oil level with punching buttons and a series of events that you have to input into the computer for it to come up to find out how much oil is in it.
Wow.
Who dreamed that up?
Jaguar.
Tata, is it Tata?
Yeah.
I think it's Tata Motors. Yeah. Yeah. So
In that
there's,
case, have your AAA card handy.
yeah, I'll say, you know, what a frightening thing. You can't check the oil without
Right.
going through the computer. And I'm
But are
sorry.
you? I mean, you're relying on the computer to tell you that the oil is okay
Or low.
or low.
Or low,
What
exactly.
I mean, I don't know that I like that.
I don't either.
I
Yeah.
mean, what if the computer's wrong?
Yeah. Or, you know, you can't really tell unless the light goes on, goes ping. And, oh, the engine oil level is low
Or non-existent.
or not existent. Yeah, no, that's one of
Yeah.
those things that you really need to take care of.
You know, and back to kind of your point right there, Don. If you're driving and you notice that your coolant light comes on and then maybe just goes off, well, you still may want to pull over and check your coolant level, because a lot of these vehicles, the coolant temperature sensor needs to be submerged in order to get an accurate reading. So if you're out of coolant, your light may turn off because there's no coolant it can be reading.
So it cools. It gets to whatever the air temperature is inside the wherever it is, the radiator or the manifold or wherever it is.
And then it gets too hot, and then you got your check engine light, the car is shaking. It's like the light turned off. Why is this happening? So I think it's just very important to familiarize yourself, get yourself more confidence. So you happen to see a light, know what lights mean. You don't want to be Googling and describing what the light is while you're on the side of the road to have to make that type of decision.
Yeah, and hope that you got an internet connection while you're there on the side of the
Oh,
road.
yeah.
Let's talk about
Correct.
let's talk about tires and brakes real quick.
Tires, I would 100% say, look how old they are. Especially if you haven't been doing a lot of driving. I did a pretty big road trip this past summer, and I knew that road trip was coming up, and I knew my tires were getting old. So I went ahead and I spaced out my tire purchases because I like the Michelin tires. So I had I bought 2 tires, and then I waited a couple of months and I bought the last 2 tires just because I wasn't feeling confident on the age of them. You don't want to be making a long cross-country road trip, or I would say not even a trip to Dallas if your tires are 5 to 6 years old. Go to a tire professional, go to a tire store and say, hey, look, can you teach me how to read how old my tires are? Can you look at the tread depth and tell me if this is okay for the wet, or do I have the right tires for going where I want to go?
Yeah, exactly. Because there are all-season tires. There are also winter tires.
Right.
And there's definitely a difference between the two.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff knows. He's the old tire guy. Now, how about brakes? I mean, brakes you just kind of forget about as long as they're working, but you certainly don't want to be behind the wheel when they're not working.
Right, correct. Right, and you don't want to go on your trip and then you're in a different city and you start hearing
Grinding and all.
crazy noises.
Yeah, right.
So to that effect, I would just say find a shop that you trust and go get a full checkout. Just have them look over the whole vehicle before you're going to go on a trip. And if you're going on a trip for Christmas, I would say start planning that already, just in case there's any issues with parts, or if they need to change, let's say hoses. You need to change your radiator hoses. You have 160,000 miles on it and you've never changed them. And you know what? We're going on a really long trip. Let's change these hoses out. Well, you don't want to change hoses right before you're about to leave. You want to change the hoses and then set up a time after you've driven a couple hundred miles, go back to the shop. If they need to tighten any clamps, look over everything. You don't want to be doing major repairs the day or 2 days before your trip.
Right.
So I would recommend to everybody, find a shop that you can trust. Ask the shop if you can go into the bay and look. I mean, Don, you know how we do. We send the little reports with pictures and everything.
Correct.
And if you're here, we always take people inside the shop so they can see for themselves.
Right.
Find that sort of relationship so they can be explaining to you what they're doing and why, or what they're recommending and why. So if you find yourself in a situation, the more knowledge you have, the better you're going to be able to make decisions. Just understanding vaguely how something works is sometimes enough to make sure your family make it to your destination or find a safe place to stop.
Have you had any issues in acquiring parts? And if so, what kind of parts are you sometimes run across that you can't get right away?
You know, it was really strange when everything first started. Probably about a year ago, there was a problem with cabin filters for some reason.
Cabin
I couldn't get
filters.
those. Yeah. Now that's fine. That hasn't really been a problem. Sometimes it can be difficult getting evaporative emission system parts. So, canisters, leak detection pumps, stuff like that. Catalytic converters obviously have been an issue, especially for the Toyota vehicles. That typically is a pretty long lead time, just kind of depends what model it is. So it's kind of up and down. I did have to get a alternator coming from Colorado not that long ago. My supplier was getting it out from their Colorado warehouse because the district warehouse, the distribution center in Texas didn't have it. So there's just funny things. I don't think that suppliers are still stocking what they used to stock. So it's better to check your car and keep it well maintained. So that way you're not in a position, well, now we can't go somewhere, we can't do something because we have this repair that was totally able to be caught in time before it reached this
no
point.
parts. Yeah.
You can't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things that I'm a big stickler on, that it really doesn't hurt every once in a while to get out there and wash your own car, because you can find out a lot of things by getting out there and washing your own car. Oh, well, there's a dent that I didn't know that we had before, or there's something leaking under the car I didn't realize that it was leaking. It's silly things like that most people don't really think about unless there's some great big huge puddle of oil in the, or whatever the case may be.
Then it's too late.
Then it's too late.
Yeah.
Then you got to call the wrecker, and it becomes a major problem. Have you had any cars come in on the hook? Have you had any problems with a certain make or model of car that you have seen recently?
Jaguar?
I've seen a lot of issues with neglect. So people falling behind on their maintenance and it causing problems. I don't think that you can just blame one particular brand or model. It's really being proactive or not being proactive. Either you're going to do your maintenance. It's just like your body. You want to take care of your body. You want to exercise. You want to eat right. You don't have to go crazy, but just little habits you build here and there are going to make a big difference. Just incorporating little small things, like you said, washing your own car, driving without the radio super loud to see if you hear any noises, or just turning on your car and sitting in it for a little bit, just to familiarize yourself with things. I've seen more issues than anything from, it started making that noise like 3 weeks ago, and it seems it wasn't getting any worse, and then today it's just really, really bad, and then they have to come in a tow truck.
And you have to talk. You have to talk to your car. You have to talk to it, and you have to name it.
I talk to my car quite often.
Do you?
But and you're still talking to yourself as well.
Well, yeah, nobody else will listen.
That's right.
This is true.
One of the things that comes to mind is, if I'm going to buy a car, and I'm not new, but a used car, can I bring it to you and have you guys look it over?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you charge a fee for that?
I do charge a fee, yes.
How much does it depend on the kind of car, or what? How do you base your fee?
It does depend on the type of car that it is, and we have like a few different options for checkouts. It just depends if it's a computer that has, I'm sorry, it's a vehicle that has a lot of different modules and we should really scan the whole computer system. Or if we're just looking for safety, repair, and maintenance look over, that's our Service Smart. You're in that program, your daughter's in that program, and that Service Smart runs $150. And just looking over the whole vehicle, organizing it in safety, repair, and maintenance. That way the client can make their own decision. Do I want to buy this car? Or once I buy this car, what is in store for me?
Well, I would imagine that if I've made the decision that I'm just one tick away from plunking down, $15,000 for a used car, and the only thing holding me up is for somebody to look it over, I'm certainly willing to pay $150 or whatever it is to have it open the hood, put it up on a rack, look underneath it, make sure that everything is there that's supposed to be there. It's not leaking and doing the things that it's supposed to do.
And especially right now in this used car market, we have been seeing more used cars that people are bringing to us that need so much work. And the prices for some of these cars is just, I don't understand how they feel okay just posting that price. And the car is just junk.
Right. There are obviously, just like any other business, some unscrupulous dealers out there that will play on somebody's emotions. Hey, I really do like that Mustang. It just speaks to me. It's the right color. It's got the right interior in it, the right engine. It just looks good. And then they bring it to you and you open the hood and you go, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare under the hood.
There's been like 3 that come to the top of my head where you open the hood and you're like, how is this thing cooling? Like the condenser is touching the radiator.
It's
when you open the hood, you didn't notice this thing was like a V?
Yeah.
And that's why I say just open the hood. Just be familiar. Just familiarize yourself with your vehicle.
Right. Well, and if you get down to the point where you're getting ready to plunk down the $15,000 for a used car, $150 to have somebody, a professional, look at it and say, yeah, this is a good one, or no, don't buy this. It would save yourself a lot of heartache.
Peace of mind, and then the shop becomes someone you can trust. Then you're going to go back to that shop during your maintenance, your oil changes, your brake jobs, and things like that.
Right.
So you're going to build that trust, and it's a peace of mind.
You going to Disney World?
Hopefully.
When, is that coming up in
It's not official yet, but maybe for Christmas.
Okay, good, because I know that you guys.
Maybe we're just going to camp. I don't know if we're ever going to go to the parks, but we miss it so much. We just love camping at the campground.
I love that.
Cool.
That's a cool idea.
What owner's manual are you going to read on the way out?
Yeah, exactly.
I will probably fly. Oh. My parents will drive. They'll have my dad. My mom isn't going to read anything.
How do you fly and camp?
Well, you fly into Orlando. My parents will be camping. They come get me.
Your parents are camping.
And then I'll stay for a little bit. Then they'll drop me off at the airport, send me home, and have a few more days.
You're glamping.
Themselves.
The glamping, yeah.
It is going to be glamping. It is at Fort Wilderness, so yes.
Carolina, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming into work this morning and getting us on the Zoom call. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Yep, you do the same.
Too.
That's Carolina Serratos with Professional Auto Care. Thanks for joining us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can always shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We have a very special segment that we're going to do. Jeffrey has come up with the top 5 station wagons in the United States.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
I know they are.
They're my favorite.
Tell me.
Okay, well, first one, we're going to get this video going here.
All right, do that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do 3 things at one time.
You can handle it.
All right. So the first one that I have on here, in my opinion, is the Buick Roadmaster Estate Wagon.
Yes.
The Roadmaster Estate Wagon was the least popular body style in the Buick lineup. It introduced station wagons as a category of the American car industry. There were numerous wagons before it, but they were all sedan delivery vehicles for commercial purposes. When they presented the Roadmaster Estate in the late 40s, it changed the game. It came with a powerful engine, wood grain details, upscale equipment, and prestige. That's the word.
Yeah.
They produced 80,000 standard Roadmasters in a 2- and 4-door variants per year. So they produced a lot of them. They just weren't happy campers to the public. The next one that I put on my list is the Chevrolet Nomad. Station wagons became popular during the 50s, Mike, as the Americans adopted the suburban lifestyle. At the time, station wagons were a reasonable position for young families with children, like yours. Chevrolet presented its famous Tri-5 models in 1955, but one of the most interesting new body styles was the Nomad. The three-door station wagon was the stylish yet practical. Chevrolet also produced a lot of regular four-door long roofs, which are that's what they call them, four doors, long roofs.
New Bomb's Pie Wagon.
Yeah. The most interesting version of the Nomad was the Fuelie. It was a rare model with a fuel-injected V8 engine from where? The Corvette. It was the first muscle station wagon. Gotta love it. I'm going to tear up. Combining practical body style with fuel-injected 283 V8 small block engine. The secret was the Fuelie from the 1957 Corvette. Yeah, how about that? I enjoyed looking at it. It was good for me to enjoy it. Yeah, it really
Those
was.
old fuel injection systems are just so antiquated
Now-
and so difficult to work on.
Yep. Chrysler Town and Country Wagon. This is a beaut. I love this. By the late 50s, almost all the American manufacturers started producing station wagons. Thank you very much. With the rising popularity of body style, car companies offered innovative details, equipment, features, and they made them more attractive to the customers. So those full-size models gained more luxury to add to the appeal. But one of the most interesting models of the period was the 1959 Chrysler Town and Country Wagon. Gorgeous car.
Was that car pink?
It's not like a champagne color.
Champagne.
Champagne? Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. They built it on a full-size platform and powered it with a 413 Golden Lion V8 engine.
Golden Lion.
Golden
Ooh.
Lion. Not a tiger, but a lion. The Town and Country Wagon had an interesting seating configuration with the third row seat facing the tailgate. Dang it, that needs to come back. We need to do that on Tahoes and Escalades.
With the kids in the back seat shooting the finger. There's
Darn
somebody
right.
in the
It
back
doesn't
there.
matter.
Holding
they
up
got-
little signs for the drivers.
Absolutely.
Honk.
Absolutely.
No, it wouldn't be that. It'd be
Christ-
something ugly and nasty.
Yep. Chrysler called the rear-facing seats the observation deck. And it had power sliding rear glass as an option. Features like this suggested that the wagons were not only for family transportation, but for road trips to discover America's newly built highways. Isn't that great? I mean, that's just nostalgic stuff written all over it. Yep. And number 2 would be the Chevrolet Yeoman. This is a gorgeous car.
What? A Yeoman?
Yeah.
It's the 58, isn't it?
Yes. Chevrolet produced many bare-bones models as basic transportation for small business owners, as one of the models was the Yeoman. It was quite rare because they produced it only as a one-year model. The Yeoman could get any Chevrolet engine that you wanted to put in it over the 1958 year. The base power came from a standard straight six 3.9 liter of displacement. However, since the Yeoman was a base model, the equipment level was low. Not a whole lot of stuff on it. 2 taillights instead of 3 in the configuration.
Crank windows, etc.
Yep. They made 190,000 of these bad boys.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I had one. They're rare. They're very, very rare, and you can't hardly find them anymore. You can find a 58, but not a Yeoman.
I've never even heard of a
Yeah.
Yeoman.
No, never seen it.
Now, this is the one we all need to just take a moment. Just take a moment. Cadillac Fleetwood, Castilian Estate. They were limited to the suburban families, small businesses, but the Cadillac marketing team thought it would be a great idea to put a super luxury long roof on a Cadillac. Basically, it was the most expensive model in the Fleetwood line. It cashed in on the extravagant body style, unusual combination. They named the finished product the Castilian. Massive station wagon. They built it on Cadillac's biggest platform, equipped with their biggest 500 cubic inch displacement V8. Love it. Customers could order those limited production models through Cadillac dealer, and it's just a gorgeous car.
You like that?
Oh,
I think
I
it's
do.
ugly, but whatever.
Well,
It's like a hearse to me. Like that'll be your
Well-
last ride.
Well, that will be your last
or
ride.
a flower vehicle.
Flower vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you, sir.
There you go.
In Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeart Radio app. Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on your favorite podcast channel. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues with none other than John Rawson with Pro-Am Auto Accessories right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/InWheelTimeCarTalk.
Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, John Rawson from Pro-Am Auto Accessories joins us. Jeff brings you Conrad's In Wheel Time Car Clinic. We'll have this week's auto news. So, howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's out today. And we're so glad that you could join us as we head into the month of December. Christmas right around the corner.
Yeah.
We also have Tailpipes and Tacos coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And it's going to be the Christmas edition.
Yep. It's going to be good weather. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
And it should be good. And then, of course, tomorrow is...
Yeah, Chrome and Coffee.
Chrome and Coffee.
Right.
Yep.
And that's down at the Avalon Diner in Stafford. So come on out. My goal is to be there tomorrow morning. That goes from 9 to noon. Have a little breakfast.
9 to noon.
9 to noon. Yeah.
Good breakfast, too. Good place to eat.
John Rawson. We haven't talked to him in quite a while. John, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you just loud and clear. Peachy keen, as we like to say. Pro-Am Auto Accessories. How long have you been in business down there on Richmond?
Yeah, we've been in the same location here on Richmond at Green Ridge since 1984. So it's been a few years.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah, and
still going strong.
That's good. We're glad to hear that. Not only do you have auto accessories, but you also have a shop.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we sell accessories and things here in the storefront, but out back we also have pretty much a full service shop where we primarily service European cars, but we don't turn much away. We work on pretty much anything that comes in if we can. So.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
Keeps us
So,
pretty busy.
yeah. So, I have a wife that has a really cool car, and I thought, well, we're going to make this Christmas a little bit different. She wants some, some racing style seats for the front of it, or maybe some fuzzy dice. I don't know whether you carry the fuzzy dice or not, but I do know you carry the seats. But
we do. Yeah, we do carry racing seats. Fuzzy dice, I could probably find.
I'm sure.
I don't have any here at the moment.
Make a run down to Walmart or something, whatever the case may be. But I when I think of car accessories, of course, there's a bajillion of them that are online. But there's nothing like going into a store and shopping to your heart's content for all sorts of things. And I know that you can certainly offer suggestions as to once you find out what kind of car it is.
We
can,
certainly can help anybody with Christmas presents this year if they have an enthusiast or aficionado in their family. We've got stocking stuffer, small stuff that's $10, and then we can, of course, you can spend as much as your heart's content. I mean, we've got seats, truck accessories, lift kits, you name it, we can do it.
Yeah.
I have a Volkswagen here if you want. This one is a project in process, a long process, but it's here.
Are we in the shop back there right now?
No, this is in the showroom. Actually. Let me, if you don't mind, can I turn the camera
Please do.
around?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can figure it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, the view you get when you walk in our store. And this is a 71 Super Beetle that I bought 10 years ago or so to restore. And it's pretty well done except for the interior and the top. Everything underneath is great. Bodywork is great. So
what is a Super Beetle?
Well, a Super Beetle, I guess, was their improved version of the Beetle. It had a different front suspension, mainly was the big difference. It has a primitive coilover McPherson strut in the front instead of the what did Volkswagen call it before, an I-beam or something like that.
Right.
So
that's the main difference.
I think so. I'm not really a huge Volkswagen person, but it's a pretty car. I bought it a long time ago to fix up for my wife and I to drive, and it's here on display mainly. So, but if you want to take a look back here, we've always been big with the local racing communities, road racing, drag racing, whatever. And so we do carry quite a bit of racing gear. If you're doing track events or doing competition racing, we have helmets, shoes, gloves, suits, other racing items if you need. So we can take care of. And this is stuff that you really, a lot of people still come into the store because they need to try it on for size. I mean, if you're ordering a helmet over the internet, you don't know whether it's going to fit or not before you buy it. So you can come in, try on helmets, try on gloves, and make sure you get something that's right the first time.
Well, I got a Christmas party that I've been invited to, and I'm thinking maybe one of those racing suits would look really snappy if I walk in with that on.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the orange one there would be just about your style. Unless you got a pink one up there behind the blue.
Yeah, come on in. We'll suit you up.
I'm sure you would. Yeah. Do I see a muffler hanging on the wall there?
Yeah, that's part of the outfit.
Yeah, let's go over here. Yeah, so this is just sort of a little display of other stuff that we do. We do a lot of big brake kits, upgrades for cars that see track use. We actually also have done a lot of brake upgrades on big SUVs that have gone and gotten some armoring done, which we don't do the armoring, but we help them stop after they've added all the weight. So
what do you mean? What do you mean by armoring?
Well,
bulletproof
glass, armor plating underneath, that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
We've supplied some big brake kits to some of the armoring companies here in Texas.
Yeah.
Suspension. This is we're a big suspension shop. That's primarily my area of expertise is setting up suspension for track work. So we carry Bilstein and Eibach and a bunch of other stuff. So don't look at this down below. That's kind of my junk pile closeout stuff.
What do you see the most of coming through the shop? What is the main, I don't know, vehicle or the main project or repair?
Well, mostly around here, I think it's due to the area that we're at, kind of in the Galleria area. We see a lot of European cars, BMWs, Mercedes, Audis for service work, typically just both routine maintenance stuff, scheduled maintenance stuff, and then light repair. I don't go into engines or transmissions. I leave that to other shops with better expertise in that. But any kind of suspension or check engine light stuff, I try to take care of the best I can.
Cool.
So, one of the benefits of being here for as long as as we have is we pretty much know everybody around here as far as other shops. So if it's something that I can't handle here, I probably know somebody that can, and I can refer out. So, we're not only here to make a buck on everything. We're here to have, relationships with people. So it's been a great time being here. So.
Are you open today?
No, actually, we're not open today. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 usually. So I'll pan over this away. But yeah, we decided not to be open on the weekends a couple of years ago, and it's worked out great for me. So I still have my weekends to myself a little bit. So, but I'm often up here working on my own toys. So on Saturdays when I can. But right now I've got 2 teenage daughters that are in high school, and so that pretty much takes up most of my weekend time. And stuff.
It takes up your time and your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I saw your little dipster there when you went by it, sitting in front of the counter.
Go back over there. I meant to talk about that. Yeah, that's been a neat product. This is one of those stocking stuffer deals. These are $10 a piece.
What is it, John?
It's called the Dipster. It was actually invented here locally by a friend of ours that we've known for years and years, a racer, autocrosser. And this is open one up here. This is a dipstick swiping device, sponge basically, that you slide this. Can you see that? You slide this along the dipstick in your car. That way you don't have to waste a paper towel, and it's always handy. It has a magnet in the bottom of it so that it can stick into your you just leave it in the engine compartment of your vehicle.
Nice.
And it's always handy.
Yeah.
So.
I found those and it's from his shop on Amazon. You can get those on Amazon, and I bought all my grandkids. Of course, the girls looked at it like, what is this?
Yeah, what do you do with this?
And they don't even have cars.
Some of them don't.
We sell a lot of this stuff. I've basically transitioned over to selling on Amazon. So like here's all of our car care stuff, waxes and polishes and tire dressing and stuff like that. The Classy wax, which is a neat German wax. That's probably what we sell the most of. And all of that's available on Amazon through our Amazon store, or you can just, search these products and we'll come up as one of the suppliers. So stuff like the Classy wax, the dipsters are on Amazon, like you said, some of the motor oils. We're a big TX7, which is another local company here. Y'all probably heard of Polydyne.
Sure.
They do ceramic coatings and stuff for engine components and exhaust components and stuff like that. Well, they also have a complete line of engine oil additives and transmission additives and power steering additives and such. And we sell a tremendous amount of this stuff online.
See, I was going to ask that because you're European, you got a lot of the Euro models coming in. I was going to ask if you had a wide variety of the fluids, the trans fluids, the brake fluids, the oils, but it looks like you've got it pretty much narrowed down.
Well, we've always carried kind of the premium branded oils. Like you can see here, we've got AMSOIL, which I think we're the only place in Houston that you can walk into and buy this off the shelf. You can order it online, of course, but we have it here if you need it right away. Same thing with the Redline down there. We've been a Redline dealer for I don't know, a couple of decades at least. And so this is all kind of the best of the best stuff over here. We've kind of honed it down pretty good. Too bad Conrad's not here. I do have some of your BG products sitting over here too. So
I'm
we
sure
do
he's
that
watching
stuff as well.
Yeah, we know he's watching.
Yeah.
Well, John,
Yeah.
let's talk about back to your garage and the services. Do you have an alignment machine there?
I do not have an alignment machine here at my shop, but I have a good buddy down the street that has a very expensive one, and so I go down there and we do those together when we need to. So
I got you. Mm-hmm. Well,
there's
that's
not
good.
a whole lot in the shop, but I will show you this. You guys
What?
remember a couple of years ago, the last time we talked, I think I was at Daytona
Yeah.
or Austin at the races, and we blew the motor up in this M3 at that event and decided to embark on an LS swap upgrade for this car. And
now you're talking, baby.
so that's here. We have not run this car in 2 years. In fact, this weekend is the event that we blew the motor up at 2 years ago in Austin, and we're not there. We're here. So yeah, we're swapping. This is, an all aluminum 5.7, essentially out of a Camaro or early Corvette. First, what do you call it? A Gen 3 LS1 or whatever you want to call it. It's going into this BMW.
So I assume that the BMW original motor that was in the race car probably ran out of oil, or shall I say burned through all of the oil that was in it and then blew up.
Yeah, it dropped a valve while I was driving, and it was a pretty tired motor. When I got it out of the car and started kind of getting it apart, it was just a disaster inside. So it was a comprehensive failure. But that motor was the original engine for this car. It already had like 140,000 street miles on it. And then we decided to race the hell out of it for 4 years before it finally gave up.
Tear it up.
Can't say anything bad about the BMW motors, really. I mean, yeah, they do leak oil, but as long as you can keep oil in them, they run pretty good. So
what does putting the LS into it do to your racing classification?
Makes it cool.
It makes it faster. It's going to be – it'll probably actually stay in the same class, we hope. As we have sat on the sidelines, I guess, the past 2 years with this car, the league has moved forward quite a bit. So it would not be – in fact, I think if it had the original engine in it, it would actually go down a class to where we always raced it. So actually this engine is going to basically keep us in the same class, and we're going to be able to tune this thing way back to keep it extremely conservative and safe. Cause obviously it's kind of excessive for what we need to do, but it should be fun. So it's got a custom ECU system that came from Australia. And it's supposedly you can tune all kind of stuff with it. So it'll be fun. But we're finally getting closer to starting it for the first time. So.
Are you tubbing it?
No, it's going to be a road race car still. So
just had to ask.
So we might flare the fenders if we end up having to put a lot bigger rubber underneath it. So we'll just have to see.
So when do you anticipate the next event for it?
The next event. Let's see here. There we go. The next event that we're going to try to do, I think, is going to be in March at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama. We'll just have to
cool.
see. It's got to get running first, and then we've got to do some testing, and then we'll go from there.
So you go down to like MSR or someplace to do the testing once you're ready to.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We'll go to either MSR Houston. We've got friends down there, and so we'll go run it for the day there, or we may end up going to San Marcos at Harris Hill,
right,
which is another track where we've got some friends at and stuff that we're able to go and run when we need to. So should be should be fun.
Very cool.
Well, John, it's great to talk to you. Great to see you, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that things are going well for you down there on Richmond Avenue. It's Pro-Am Auto Accessories. John Rawson is his name. And John, good luck to you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year's, and thanks for having me on again. Thanks for letting us take a tour of the shop. I appreciate it very much.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you,
We'll
John.
talk to you again soon.
Yep.
All right. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the car clinic. Conrad's out, but he sends his homework in on a
he does.
regular basis.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who's doing. Is it you Mars?
Yes,
Mike
sir.
do this
Don, I
one.
know that you read this through first, so
No,
we
he
don't
did
stumble
not.
and mumble
No,
our way
we
through it. Is
stumble
that?
and mumble.
What?
That's the fun. That's why I gave it to him. I've read it. He hasn't read it. So here you go.
No, so Carolina kind of touched on it in her preparation, things that you need to watch and take care of, and particularly your brakes, because that's, again, as she said, that's one of those things you really don't pay attention to sometimes until it's a little too late, and all of a sudden you're hitting the floor and there's no brakes and nothing
Squeaky.
stopping.
Yep.
So particularly in the big city areas like Houston, where you've got a lot of stop-and-go driving, and you get high temperatures during the summer, all that stuff wears hard on brakes, particularly you start towing campers and boats, and it all kind of adds up to more stress on the entire brake system. And a lot of people, again, particularly the younger drivers that are coming up, they might start here, their brakes to start squeaking. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, they are designed to squeak so that as they wear down, there's some metal clips that start rubbing on the rotors, and that's an indication that they're wearing down, and you need to have them looked at. Other times it could be because you've got some trash on there, some mud or something. You go through some water. You may have warped or got the rotors glazed over from the heating. So there's a lot of things that could cause it to squeak. But if you hear it squeaking, it means it's time to check something. Either it's wear and tear or you got something that's fixing
Check
to be
your
really
underwear.
bad.
Turn the radio up.
And then there comes in the question how often you should change the brake pads. Now, this says you should change the brake pads every 40 to 50,000 miles on average. I kind of go by they're squeaking. To me, that's when they wear out, because if you drive like my wife's driving pattern.
Let's not blame it on her,
Yeah,
Mars.
No,
This is
yeah,
all
yeah.
your fault.
She doesn't go through brake pads as fast as I do.
Well, it all depends also
Because of
on
the
how-
driving style, the difference
Exactly.
in the driving and where we drive and how we drive. I'm driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour and somebody pulls over in front of me and I'm hammering on the brakes or something like that. She doesn't do that. She's a much more conservative driver. So, but again, as a rule of thumb, 40 to 50,000 miles would be a good time to do that. But if your brakes start feeling squishy, your pedal soft is what I would call it, then it's possible then that over time you've got a little moisture buildup in there because you've got some low brake fluids in it. And so that could cause it to be a little, or as the brakes wear, your fluid levels go down because they got to fill that gap where the brakes wear down in the lines, and that allows sometimes some air or fluid to build up. And so you change your brake fluid about every 30,000 miles. Now, again, to me, it kind of depends on your driving habits, but that's a good rule of thumb so that you can have something to think about it. And then, and if you ever wonder if the brakes can work without any brake fluid, no. Air won't work this system. It's not like an air pump type thing.
Yeah, and the more you heat up that product, that liquid, the brake fluid, it loses what they call viscosity for
Yes.
brake fluid. So that hampers it as well.
Right. And again, it's the wear and tear, the driving style, because the heat is what's going to really work on the brake pads as you wear them down, or the speed at which you wear them down. If you ride the brakes, if you just kind of keep your foot on the brakes just a little bit while you're going down the road at the highway, it causes more wear and tear, but it also generates a lot more heat that can cause the brake pads themselves to get brittle, which means they're not going to stop as well. And then you start hammering those on top of the rotor and it starts warping, and it just compounds the whole situation. So it's best to check and do some maintenance on your brakes so that you don't end up with a big major problem.
I concur.
The end.
The end. Fix the brakes.
Fix the brakes.
There you go.
I have to tell you that I've been toying with the idea of actually getting in the driveway and pulling the wheels off of the Corvette and painting the calipers.
Oh, no.
The question is, what color do I paint the calipers? because originally they were black with white Corvette lettering
Right.
on them. I don't want that. I want a little pop back there. So am I going to paint them yellow, or am I going to paint them red? Red seems to be the in color.
It is. Who is it? Brembo. Their color is red when you've got those.
Is it Bimbo?
Brembo.
Oh,
Brembo.
I think it's Bimbo brakes.
Brembo.
Well, it may be depending on where you get them. If you get them down at the corner at the hair salon, yeah, they'll be the Bimbo brakes. But if you go to the shop,
we apologize to all hair salons.
Yeah, no, we don't. Bimbo brakes.
I don't know why you would want to paint them. That's just
Couple of recalls to tell you about. Incorrectly folded passenger airbag.
what? It's like a parachute.
I guess so. Volkswagen ID4 for 2021. Your car is being recalled. Ford Motor Company. A cracked fuel injector may leak and cause a fire in the Ford Bronco Sport and the Ford Escape for 2020 through 2023 model years.
Wow.
Sirius XM.
Oh,
You familiar with Sirius
I
XM?
have that.
yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Well, software security researchers and engineers used a flaw in a Sirius XM service to hack into Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and Toyota vehicles using only their VIN numbers.
Wow.
What?
No.
They discovered the coding flaw in a hybrid 2022 Hyundai Sonata in September and found they could remotely unlock, start, locate, flash, and honk the horn in the car. They used the same methodology to crack into Honda, Nissan, and Toyota models.
I didn't know that was through XM.
As these researchers and engineers explored the back end of these smartphone applications, they kept seeing Sirius XM, a company known for its satellite and online radio services, referenced in the code and documentation related to these vehicles' onboard systems. During their research, they found that the domain http://telematics.net handled the services for enrolling cars in SiriusXM connected vehicle services. That's a subsidiary that provides automatic crash notifications, roadside assistance, remote door unlock, remote start, and stolen vehicle recovery for vehicle owners. Automakers in SiriusXM said they were aware of the problem and have resolved the issue.
Let's hope.
While the group could hack many features, they could not control any driving functions. But you could start the car in someone's garage, according to a spokesperson.
Wow.
That's some scary stuff
that
there.
is scary there.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, car's running. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it's running. It's in the garage. It's running because I started it.
It just went down the street.
Let's see. North American vehicle production rose 15% in October. Why are you interested in that? Because that means that chances are you're going to start seeing a few more cars on dealer lots,
Yeah,
new cars.
it's starting.
Chalking up ninth straight month of year-on-year gains, according to Automotive News Research and Data Center. Tesla is making its controversial driver assistance system available to customers previously deemed not safe enough behind the wheel to test it out. CEO Elon Musk tweeted that the system Tesla calls full self-driving beta is now available to anyone in North America who has bought the option and requests it from their car screen. Until now, some paying customers have been blocked from accessing the feature known as FSD because they did not score high enough on metrics Tesla uses to set insurance rates. I don't quite understand what that
No.
means. I guess you got to take a test or
I
something.
want the truck.
You do?
I want his truck, yeah.
Anyway,
It'd be very cool.
it would.
I would like it. I'd drive it.
The truck.
Yeah.
It's not out yet.
I know.
And I don't know what the hang-up is.
I don't either. But you know, they're pushing a lot of these EVs on the TV commercials. General Motors they're saturated with it, and it says, and it's something that I thought of. You can go 500 miles on a charge. They're all saying I can go 250 miles, and I can go whatever miles on a charge. But if you look in the fine print, or they never state how long does it take to charge it to get to that. Nothing is discussed in that. It's not even in the fine print. That needs to be addressed.
Well, I think that you should address it.
I just did.
All right. That's it for this segment of our show.
It is.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In-Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In-Wheel Time Car Talk.
Hello, America, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Brad Thompson, God's Garage. Mars reviews the Infiniti QX50. That's some, what is it?
Nothing. We're just making fun of you. That's all.
Did I do something wrong?
All the time.
Okay. We got the events calendar. Later, we're going to talk about the upcoming Houston Auto Show. Mm-hmm. That's right around the corner in January. Plus, we'll look at the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's out today. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. Glad you could join us on this Saturday live broadcast. If you're listening on a podcast, then you may wonder why I said Saturday. Mm-hmm. Well, because we tape the podcasts on Saturday morning. Yep. And we also broadcast this live in living color on the air.
Living color, yeah.
8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. So now you got the skinny on that. Mm-hmm. What else do we have the skinny on? Let's see. Tomorrow morning is Chrome and Coffee at the Avalon Diner. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's all I know.
My granddaughter's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
We're going to have a little soiree at my daughter's house this afternoon.
Nice.
And what are we doing after the show today?
We're having a wonderful in-wheel time Christmas lunch courtesy of my good friend George Skelton.
Great friend of the show.
Yep, and George and I go way back to elementary school, and George is always tuned in and listens to us religiously on Saturdays for our live broadcast. But he's set us up with this absolutely gorgeous looking Perini Ranch brisket. We're going to have that. I bought some fresh rolls for us to.
Oh, I brought bread, pickles, onion, all that.
See, you didn't have to do any of that. I told you that I would supply everything.
You know me.
Except for the onion. I didn't have any onions.
Onion? It's a huge onion.
It is massive.
Very large onion.
But
we're going to tub it out.
Tub it out. Let's check in with a good friend of the show's. His name is Brad Thompson. He's with God's Garage. Brad, good morning to you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you guys. Little technical issues on my end, I think, but I think we're good now.
You have technical issues. You've got it written all over you.
Smoke and mirrors, man. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Don't be doing that.
Yes, it is. It's for all of our.
How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing very well, thank you. Heading into Christmas, and we thought we'd give you a buzz and see how things are happening at God's Garage. But before we get into that, for those people that don't know what God's Garage is, I'm going to let you explain it.
Yeah, thanks. We are a 501c3 up in Conroe. We are a organization that's fully donor supported. We take in donated vehicles, running or not, and we repair them, get them roadworthy, get them inspected, and then we give them away to single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military. And we also will fix vehicles for that same single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military. We'll fix their vehicles too at little or no cost to them.
Very nice.
Wow.
What a wonderful thing that you're doing. Are you in a new shop up there?
We
Yeah,
talked
you
about
guys-
that. Yeah.
So we're getting there. A year and a half into this effort, we are probably within a month of having this done. I'm actually standing on the north end. That's looking into the shop, and the big wall behind me is the office space. It's going to replace the old building we have that has 2.5 or 3 bays, and our office building was a really old building that, because TxDOT's widening 105 here on the east side of Conroe, we had to lose that building. So we didn't really have a whole lot of choice, but man, this is going to be neat. It's a tremendous building. The contractors, our general contractor, Brandt, they've done a great job for us. We just really, we're chomping at the bit to get into this thing.
Wow.
Well, you had a little bit of a setback last time we were talking to you. Somebody broke into the shop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, actually, remember they stole our truck.
Stole the truck.
So
Yeah.
they stole it, and the truck was on the outside. Yeah, we got the truck back. Never really heard much more about that. That truck was kind of on the end of its legs anyway, so it probably had more value in a chop shop than it did, they did here. But since then, we actually got another truck donated to us, so we now have a different truck in the fleet, and I think that one we're about to salvage because I think it's got over 300,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Interesting. So what are you currently working on? You have Christmas presents for people?
Yeah, we're just trying to close out our year. Our goal this year, because of all the construction, was to try to give away 100 cars. We're in the low 80s right now, so I'm not sure if we'll actually make 100. We've already repaired over 60 vehicles this year. Just so you also know, it's not just, hey, show up, get a car. We take these ladies through a seminar where we teach them life skills, include budgeting, resume writing, how to dress for an interview, nutrition, childcare. So we do quite a bit to help them kind of also understand that they're not alone. There's a group of people that will just love them and accept them and not be judgmental. And our goal is to help give them that lift up in life where they can get, to that next rung and get out of that horrible pit of not being able to get around. When you hear the stories of women walking down major roads or freeways with their kids to go to the grocery store, and then they put all the groceries in a stroller and they push it back home, it's pretty disheartening. So it's pretty neat what we get to do up here. I always appreciate you guys highlighting what we do up here, but this is probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever gotten to do in my life. And I'm a volunteer. This is just something I do out of out of the passion I have for this ministry.
Well, that was one of the things that I was going to kind of focus in on. It's not just you. You've got a team of volunteers that go up there and spend their time and the goodness of their heart to go up there and help you fix these cars, repair them to the point where they're semi-reliable. Well, I guess they are reliable if they're running, and then give them to people that are in really need of that. You had mentioned something about the fact that not having a car, I cannot imagine what that might be like, because we don't ever really think about that, somebody not having a car. We don't have public transportation here, like, for instance, New York City. I think Dallas has a better public transportation system than we do. We can't get on a bus or a train and go from Conroe to downtown Houston. We can't go from Conroe to go anywhere, really, unless you're going to fly into the Conroe Regional Airport and that sort of thing. But to not have a car. Now, you don't limit yourself to those people that are just living in the Conroe area.
No, we do the greater Houston area. It just so happens probably the majority of the people we help is from our area, because a lot of them can't even get up here. We will pick up a donated vehicle as much as an hour away from Conroe in any direction.
Right.
So that part we go for. For us, the applicants, we end up on the Kelly Clarkson show a couple years ago, and we're getting applicants from all over the country. So obviously, we can only do so much. So we focus the applicants really on the greater Houston area. And, we have a pretty strong vetting process too, because as you can imagine, we get 100 applicants a month. So we get 1,200 a year, and we give away 100 cars. So gives you an idea of, how many of the applicants. We have a pretty tight criteria for what they have to meet, and they have to be willing to invest a little bit and come up here and come to the seminar and be part of this. So, but yeah, your point is great. When we open this, we hope you guys will come do a show one Saturday morning from here, and we'll do a car giveaway while you're here. And when we do those, we don't tell the recipient they're actually getting their car that day. So it's quite an emotional event, and you'll get to feel what we feel every time we do this.
What possessed you to do this? What was the motivating factor to get you to do Open God's Garage?
I wasn't the founder. The founder was a pastor out of Montgomery County, and he was driving down the road. As the story goes, I'm not sure how big the story's gotten since since it started, but as the story goes, he was driving down Highway 105 over in Montgomery and saw a lady walking with her child down the side of 105, which is a busy, at that place, 2-lane road with a little shoulder. I don't know if it was in the rain, in the dark, uphill, all those things, but either way, you've got a mom walking with a kid. And he stopped, as a pastor, he stopped and said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" And she's like, "Well, my truck's been in the shop. I can't afford to get it fixed. So I'm having to walk everywhere." So they went and got her truck and took it to his house. And he and a bunch of buddies from the church fixed the vehicle and gave it back to her. And that was essentially kind of that single act of kindness kind of started an idea of, hey, there's a lot of people in this situation that really need some help. And that was actually kind of the birth of God's Garage. And then that was 2010. So 12 years ago that started.
Wow.
So here we sit on 12 acres on the east side of Conroe. God's been amazing to this place. The people that have shown up, even during the construction process, the guys that did our civil work, Bullseye, they had a deposit they had to put down. The deposit came back and they just said, "Hey man, just keep it. We're just going to donate that to the garage."
Wow,
so
fantastic.
it's been incredible. Yeah.
What a overwhelming sense of being humble and we hear so much negative, ugly things about what's on the news and people getting murdered and all of the ugly stuff, but there is still a lot of good stuff that's happening out there, and we like the fact that this happens to be car related. And well,
we do too.
Yeah, and it's our cup of tea. And if there's anything clearly that we can do to help, we would like to be in on that, because there's such a sense of satisfaction that you don't get in any other way than donating, talking about being a part of God's Garage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we've got 5 employees. I mean, our board members are all volunteers, and we generally, in a normal year, will give away over 100 cars a year. This year, with all the construction going on, we're not going to probably get there, but we're close. But volunteers fix our cars. We have one ASE 40-year certified mechanic on staff. He's in charge of our vehicle operations. He makes sure everything's the way it's supposed to be when it leaves here. And even some of those cars leave here and they die a day later. And if they do, we go get them and we bring them back and we give them another car. Or we fix that one if we can fix that one. So, but, you know, it's volunteer supported. So, you know, anybody out there that's up, especially up on the north side of town, and they have mechanic skills, you know, we're about to open a awesome new 6-bay garage. You know, it's a clean floor and it's going to be neat to be in this place, but it has to be, I mean, without a doubt, it's the most rewarding thing I've been ever assigned to do in my life. And that's kind of how I feel is right now. For me, it's an assignment to do this until somebody else is going to kind of take the board chairman lead. But we have tremendous people. We just hired Justin Coggins about 1.5 years ago to be our president. And he's the first paid operating president this ministry's ever had. And it's incredible. He's doing a great job.
What do you need today? What does God's Garage need today?
Well, you know, kind of the easy answer is just support, whether that's money or cars or volunteers. We ran a campaign to raise money for the building. We fell a little short, so we're having to finance that. So anybody that feels moved that they want to put AC and heat in the shop, we cut that from the scope of the project just to keep it affordable and try to be able to get in here. Right now, you know, Jeff, our shortcomings really just donated vehicles. That's really what makes the world go round. Surprisingly, about over half of the vehicles that get donated to us, we can't fix. They're just too far gone. We drag them out of fields, you know, with 4 flat tires. We'll pick up anything because there's salvage value in that. Mm-hmm. So we'll go salvage those if they're in that bad a shape, and we'll use that money to fix other cars. So we run, you know, $500 to $600 to $700 a car. Once they come in here is what we end up spending. So that money comes from the salvage sales. So really, I mean, volunteers will be great. Money's always good. But right now, I think our biggest thing is we just need vehicles that are almost drivable or are drivable.
Do you do any paint and body work, or is it all mechanical?
Man, very little. That's time consuming. It's messy, especially the paint part. We have a guy that actually, believe it or not, lives in France and comes over here for part of the year, and we kind of quarantine off one part of the old shop down there, and he can actually do paint and body work. So, or we'll go buy, you know, another quarter panel, or we'll go pick up a car from the auction and take the good quarter panel off and put the dented one back on and take it back over the auction and basically get the same for it we would have gotten had we just run it over there. Wow. So, so yeah, you know, it's a smoke and mirrors. You know, wherever we can make it work, we make it work.
It's a constant juggling act.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's incredible to see what goes on here. Like I said, I mean, can you imagine running a couple hundred cars through a volunteer organization? It's got 5 employees, and you're coordinating, vetting all of these applicants. I mean, we have a team of ladies that are just tremendous from the local churches and just other volunteers. They get on the phone and they call these women, and then we run background checks on them, obviously, to make sure they don't already have a vehicle. So we're not giving somebody a vehicle that already has one. You know, and unfortunately, we get a good number of those. But really, it's still, you know, I really look forward to you guys being here at some point, because the impact you will see on that recipient's face is just second to none. It's incredible.
So when is this grand opening going to take place, so we can kind of pencil it in?
Well, we actually are going to have a ceremonial grand opening in later February. So I think what we're going to do is just ask you guys. We probably won't have you come on the actual grand opening. It's just too chaotic. I think what we're going to do is just maybe coordinate a car show, or let you guys decide what you want to have out here in conjunction with being here. I know, you know, I saw you guys down in San Leon at the car show down there. Yep. That's always a neat event for you to be at, because you've got this constant stream of folks. That El Dorado was crazy, wasn't it?
It was, yes. God. Matter of fact, we saw that El Dorado at Autorama.
Yeah, it was there.
The one with like the little hooked couch in the back seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But but yeah, I mean, I think we'll organize something like that for you, so it bodes better for
Well,
your show.
you
than having a
mentioned
bunch of
something
traffic.
about the chaos at the grand opening. We bring chaos with us.
Well, you're going to have it in
So,
February when we come too. Yeah.
Right,
what-
so we can't have 2x chaos.
Sure.
That's
your
it.
chaos and our chaos, But we'll find a time to get you here. I think it'll be great. I mean, obviously we have a tremendous facility now. I've actually have a extension cord running way over there to have power to here, so we're kind of creeping up on it. I heard the guys shut the generator off behind me.
The lights went out.
Yeah, the lights in the shop are run by a generator right now. So we're close. We still need a power pole. So Entergy, if you're listening, we'd like to have our power, please.
Do you actually have somebody that reaches out to the churches around your area and say, hey, we've got a deal here. We'd love to have you guys get involved in it with us and get support that way through the other churches in your area?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all spokespeople for this organization. I wear a God's Garage T-shirt everywhere I go. I've been down in the Med Center and had somebody say, hey, there's one of those up in Conroe. I'm like, yeah, that's us. But Justin Coggins is our executive director. He's our day-to-day operating president. And that's primarily one of his responsibilities, is to go out, build our relationships with local churches. We're fortunate. We've been here for a decade, so a lot of them already know us. And that's good. But, there's still, I'm always amazed how many people don't know we're here. And, like I said, our reach is pretty tremendous. We pick up vehicles in Sugar Land. We give away vehicles to people who live in Pasadena or Pearland. If they can make it up here and they qualify, then we basically will do what we can.
Brad, is it any denomination?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're non-denominational. It's not even people, as far as our recipients go, part of what we're trying to do is just introduce them to the love of Christ through what we do. So we don't even care if they're faith-based or not. They're gonna come through here and they will leave this place knowing what it feels like to be loved by people that have no idea who they are.
Such a wonderful
that will happen.
Such a wonderful organization. Well, Brad, it's always great to talk to you, and we thank you so much for joining us today, coming into the shop with no electricity, and hey,
we'll make it work.
Yeah, at least the internet works, huh?
Yeah, that's way over there, but hey, it worked.
Well, Mike, put down that we're going to bring our own power. When we go
we'll bring our own generator with us.
We got a 400 amp panel. We got power for you. We're good. Once we get you going, we'll get you going.
Well,
Thanks again for having us.
Yes, and Merry Christmas to you, and Godspeed, and hopefully we'll get some more cars up there and headed your way.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Brad Thompson, God's Garage. Always good to talk to you.
It's heartfelt. Plus the holidays.
Yep.
People are in a giving mood, so let's give.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the events calendar. We mentioned it earlier. We'll mention it again. That tomorrow is Chrome and Coffee at the Avalon Diner in Stafford at the Fountains. And
we had Craig on the air with us at Autorama. I actually watched the replay the other day. What a cool guy!
And what a story!
Yeah. He's got stories for everything. Well, and your background with him as well.
Well, yeah, we go back a long ways together.
And if you want to, just get to the prison blotters in your local paper.
Yeah. Come and visit the prisoners
there
at
you go.
the Chrome and Coffee. Okay, what else you got?
Well, I've got today.
All of these are today, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I'm going to keep saying today. 2 to 6, Stuff the Bus Cruisin'. It's at Sawyer Park Ice House at 314 Pruitt Road, Spring, Texas. Bring a new unwrapped toy, and that'll get you in. And then there's one from
new
unwrapped toy. Yeah, don't wrap it up in gift wrap.
Oh, okay.
That way they can tell that.
And then, for ages and all that good stuff. And a lot of times people don't know that there are older preteen kids that don't necessarily get a gift. It's always the smaller child. So think of that when you do that. 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Nifty 50s cruise-in, season closer. It's at 2250 Buckthorn in the Woodlands, and entry fee is $10. 5 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. tonight is Jeep Night at 3 Acres Food Truck Park. That is at 10648 FM 1764 in Santa Fe. It's an open cruise in, and the entry is free. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Riverfront Rally Toy Drive at Grigsby Avenue in Port Neches. Cruise in entry is $20 or a new unwrapped toy. 8 a.m., which is going on right now, to 3 p.m., the Country Christmas Car Show at the CFISD Exhibit Center at 11206 Telge Road in Cypress. Entry fee is $20. 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Cars and Barbecue Toy Drive, Mac Henry's Barbecue at 13440 Texas 105 in Beaumont. Mike, right around the corner from you.
Yeah.
You'll be going there later. And when you go, take a new unwrapped toy, Mike. That'll get you in. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Cars for Kids, 209 Christine Street in Lufkin. Open car show. Entry fee is $30. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Temple College STEM Car Club Show in Temple College. It is at 2600 South 1st Street in Temple. Entry fee is $40 plus a toy, Mike. So you bring an unwrapped toy plus a toy. There you go.
Okay.
9 a.m. till whenever it closes. Mochas and Mopars, Starbucks.
Mochas and Mopars.
Mochas and
Heck
Mopars.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
see, now somebody's using their brain there.
Yeah, 1440 G Building, Lake Woodlands Drive, the Woodlands. It's an
Building.
open cruise in. Entry is free. And the last one today is 9 a.m. to whenever. Oh, it's a duplicate. I'm sorry. It's there's one at 1037 Bay Area Boulevard for Mochas and Mopars also. So there you go.
Mochas and Mopars.
Happy cruising.
You know, that'd be a great name for just a coffee shop.
Mochas and Mopar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mopar.
Put some Plymouth signs up and
Plymouth.
Plymouth, Dodge, some
Plymouth signs.
cars.
Yeah.
When they stopped making Plymouths, Mars?
Phew. Long time ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Mochas and
not in our
Emmys.
lifetime. And in the overall scheme of things, it wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
Or you could have a shop called Hemis and Hummus.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
There you go.
Time now for
You're
this hour.
reaching. You're reaching.
He is
I know,
reaching.
I'm reaching.
Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had the opportunity, if you want to call it that, the luxury of driving the Infiniti QX50.
Yes, I did. And this is the 2023 Infiniti QX50. And
They brought it all the way over to Neaterville for you to drive?
Yes. And it's the new Sport all-wheel drive
That's
model.
pretty. Wow.
So this is basically this was the new model that they had out for 2023. Now this vehicle, the QX50, comes in 5 trim levels. You get the Pure, the Luxe, the Sport, Century, and the Autograph. So the Sport that we were driving is a mid-level trim, if you will. And so it is new for 23. It's a compact luxury CUV, which is a very competitive segment. There is just a ton of vehicles in there. Mm-hmm. So you get into the luxury, it's not quite so many, but it's still. This is a 5-passenger vehicle, and it's got some unique features because of the sport package. You got the front fascias unique, got gloss black trim that goes along with the 20-inch dark wheels and the black roof rails that really kind of trim it out.
Piano black.
It gives it a nice, shiny look, a little more performance-oriented because, I mean, it is a sport. It did have the panoramic sunroof with the power shade and the power liftgate and a lot of things that you're going to find in a luxury-type vehicle, including the heated auto-folding side mirrors with a rear tilt. So, you put it in reverse, it kind of tilts down so that you can see a little bit lower at the back of the car. And that's pretty neat. On the interior, this vehicle came with the aniline leather-appointed seating and had all kinds of technology in it. I mean, the
racy.
Front seats are considered climate controlled. It doesn't say they're heated or ventilated. They're climate controlled front seats. So it had
So
the
in other words, your butt gets climate controlled.
That's right.
Okay.
Keep your butt in control. And the
That's
Infiniti.
very difficult for me to do, as you can imagine.
Control your butt.
I'm trying to move on here.
You are.
The Infiniti InTouch has got all the technology controls there. It's got the
And for all those people listening that are listening to this review from Infiniti, we apologize, but it's just the nature of our show. So there you go.
Things kind of go that way. So had the around view system in the monitors so that you can see completely around the vehicle, which I think is a great thing. Sooner or later, everybody's going to have that. had the wireless charging, folding second row, had a Bose premium auto sound system with 12 speakers. Now, I'm telling you, this is a good sounding vehicle on the interior when you get the audio going.
A lot of Jimmy Buffett going on.
Now, rolling this thing down the highway, up underneath the hood, it had the 2.0 turbo variable compression engine. This is the one that the computer controls actually what the compression ratio is. And I saw a design at one of their deals about how that actually works, and it amazes me mechanically that it can do what it does at the RPM level. I mean, the 1,000 times a minute type thing. It's pretty impressive. It does generate 268 horsepower, 280 pound-feet torque at the max. It's followed up with an Xtronic CVT transmission that has rev matching. So it'll actually do a little bit of shifting on it if you really want to do that with the paddle shifters. The EPA says you should be looking for 22 miles to the gallon in the city, 28 on the highway, combined for 25. Now, over the 175.4 miles that I drove this vehicle, I got 24.6. And the great thing about this, with that variable compression, you would think, well, if it's going to change the compression ratio, the engine's going to change, but it's very seamless. You don't feel it. It happens so fast. So it's got this smooth, seamless power band that goes up as far as I took it anyway. It's very easy to drive. The steering was very it had an easy touch to it. It didn't take much to turn the car, but it didn't feel like you weren't in control of it. And the ride out on the highway is very compliant. It's very Infiniti-like ride out on the highway. So I was really impressed with the way that worked. And the other thing I found out that I was impressed with, they have a new Infiniti Premium Care that you get with this vehicle. It's 3 years, full inspections, oil changes, and tire rotation for 3 years. Just part of the package buying this vehicle from Infiniti. Now, the base model price, you can get a QX50 for as low as $40,300. But the base trim price that we were working on had $49,695. As tested, it was $52,815.
Still not bad.
Nope. And if you're looking for something to compare it to, you go out and look at the Audi Q5, the Volvo XC60, even the BMW X3, all start right there in that low 40 to 45 range to keep everything on balance.
Hubba, hubba.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting.
Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we are going to have a very special guest right out of the box this morning. Rochelle Salinas with the Houston Auto and is it the boat show or RV show? What we'll find out.
We're going to find out. Yeah.
Rochelle's going to join us here, and we're going to have the stories making automotive news headlines a little bit later on in this half hour. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's out today. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. He's been sunning himself in California and visiting the Pelosi home.
I think it's more like family.
He took some hammers up there or something. I'm not exactly sure how that all worked out. But anyway, on to bigger and better things. Look who's here with us now, Rochelle Salinas.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
They're on their feet in the neighborhood.
You're thinking, oh my God, do I really have to get up on a Saturday morning?
Doesn't she
put
usually
up
go
with
vacationing at the holiday season? Doesn't she go?
That's my kids, Don. They're like, a radio show again.
Again. It's not even television. Well, I guess it is kind of television.
Yeah.
We kind of bridge the gap there between radio and TV. So,
Yep.
But at any rate, how have you been?
Very good, thank you. Busy, very excited about this upcoming year
Well, and
everything
that's
coming
the
together.
first thing out of my mouth is going to ask you. So, is everybody manufacturing that's coming to the Houston Auto Show this year?
Unfortunately, not everyone, but we've got a great group coming. I'm really excited. We're still getting in a few, last minute requests to participate. So it should be very similar to last year's. We are participating again with the boat show. So now we just realized, some things just go together really well, and the boat show and the auto show go together good. So we're finally calling it the Autobotive Show now.
Autobotive.
That's fun.
I'm looking for a good submarine.
Okay. Well, so do they have RVs there too?
There is one RV vendor set up out there usually, and we'll have all the boat brands. They're even bringing more inventory on the boat side this year, so it's exciting for them. We're splitting the venue half and half, and going to add a really awesome beer garden. Camp Jeep and the Ram Track are coming back. We're going to have over 40 cars to test drive out front of the building. So there's going to be a lot of activity and fun things happening in January.
And what days of the week are this combined event going to take place?
So we're January 25th through the 29th. That's Wednesday through Sunday. We're opening up a little bit earlier this year. Instead of opening at lunch, we're opening at 11 a.m., closing at 8 p.m. every night, staying open a little bit later on the weekends. But it's going to be a jam-packed day, so we're excited to be able to add, that extra hour in the morning.
Are we invited again, or have you had enough of us?
Yeah, absolutely. No, Mr. Mars and I were just having to talk about that this week. So hopefully you guys can make it out and do another live broadcast out there, and we can have fun right on the show floor. Probably in that Jeep area once again.
Well, as
Very
a matter
cool.
of fact, we'll have to get that cleared clearly with Kimberly Schultz with Chrysler, and hopefully she'll say, "Okay, one more time."
You insist.
We need to get a hold of beer garden people.
I wrote down beer garden. I made sure I wrote that down.
Did you?
We could remote from
I'm
there.
not a beer drinker. I mean, I'll have a beer maybe a couple of times a year, but that's just not my
We'll
thing.
bring your foo-foo drinks if you want.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm thinking about some mountain whiskey.
They'll put an umbrella
Well,
in
Don,
your beer for you.
then you'll have to come to the preview night because it is finally back again.
Oh.
So we will have the preview night.
I'm
Tickets will
going.
be $150 a person, open to the public. So if you're looking for a real VIP experience to come to the auto show, check out our preview night. It's the Tuesday before we open to the public. We're having a more closer to headliner band this year. It's Skyrocket out of Austin. So they're like a 70s and 80s tribute band. They are pretty well known around town. They play at the Continental Club and some bigger venues in Austin and stuff. So it'll be a really fun night with open bar, food, full access to the auto and boat side of the event. A really fun night if you're looking for something more, away from the crowds of the general public auto show.
Is it going to be a theme night?
Yeah, it'll be a tribute to the decades.
A tribute to the decade. So that means that I could dress up in my bell bottoms and Madras shirt.
That will be perfect.
Yeah, and you can see that now in your mind, can't
Yeah,
you?
I just threw up in
We
my
get
throat.
get the hat with the feather on it. And, yeah.
We have
Absolutely.
to have some platforms too, though.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you that there was a point in my life that I actually had a pair of platform shoes.
I would believe it.
And it's
Probably be
six-
7 foot tall
and
if
it's
you had a
6 foot,
platform.
and it's 6'1" barefooted. You can imagine. I towered over everybody. It was great, and I had those extra wide bell bottoms too. And the color of the pants were blue and white checked.
He's a clown at the circus. You're walking
I
down
can see it.
in stilts.
Exactly. Oh my! Yeah. Well, I would imagine that you'll have auto dealers going. Did you actually preview this guy before you let him in?
Where's security?
Where's security when you need it? Well, the other thing that I wanted to tell you that Mars and I were just discussing, well, actually Jeff too, he was here, that we were discussing, since the show is going to open at 11 o'clock during the week, is it going to open at 11 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday as well?
No, it'll be 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh, 10.
There you go. There you go. It's getting better.
So,
Yep.
Mars, I'm thinking that what we should do is we should start our show and do it 10 to 1 What do you think about
There
that,
you go.
Mars?
On
Are you even
that
paying
Saturday?
attention?
I am. I'm making
He's writing it
notes.
down.
On Saturday. So would you be good with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. We're thinking that maybe this year we'll do it a little bit differently, and we'll promote it ahead of time, that we're going to do the live show from 10 to 1 out there at NRG Center, and it'll be fun. There'll be people there, and you won't have to go and knock on people's hotel rooms. Hey, we need you guys to come down for this stupid interview. Well, that'd make it easier on
great.
you, wouldn't it?
You could wear that outfit and go knock on their doors.
Yeah, I could. I know. Yeah, I'd get shot.
Yeah.
But would
what
that make it easier on you to get guests and stuff for us?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
We can make that happen.
All right.
What time does the beer garden open?
Oh my God. At 10.
Just checking.
Uh-huh.
Just checking.
I didn't. Mars, are you a beer drinker?
I can be.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
bet you can.
We're gonna learn them.
We're going to learn him. Okay, so let's talk about manufacturers, and I understand that our friend Buzz Smith is going to be there with his electric bandwagon, if you
That's
will.
right. Yes.
So fill us in on some of the stuff that's going to be you can see when you buy your ticket.
Yeah, so we're going to have, all the usuals there, Ford, Chrysler, or all the Stellantis brands, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Toyota, Lexus.
Is GM coming?
We are working on that. There's one of there were the ones we're kind of begging. Like,
Do
come
we
on.
do we need to make a phone call on your
That would be
behalf?
helpful. Yeah, anyone can make a phone call and tell GM that they need to be at the auto show.
Well,
That's-
I would imagine that all the GM dealers in town are going, "Hey, hello, we're here. Come on down."
and they've got some great products to be showing right now. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, hopefully them. We've got a dealer representing Mazda and Hyundai, and Volkswagen will be out as the manufacturer. Nissan as well. They're bringing out some great products. So yeah, we've got a good variety. But the big news this year, as you alluded to, Buzz, is that Evolve Houston is now our presenting sponsor. And to remind everyone, Evolve is a coalition of businesses and nonprofits here in the city that are driving awareness and adoption to electric vehicles to drive in Houston. They want 50% of the cars or drivers to drive a EV in 2030. And I think with all of the brands that are now producing EVs and putting out some great product in the market, it's a great time for them to participate in the auto show and for Evolve to educate everyone what it is like to drive an EV. What do you need?
And
How does it operate? So they'll have their own display with a whole variety of vehicles, educational aspects in there, display right on the middle of the show floor. And then we're actually doing a multi-OEM EV ride and drive out front of the building. And we're one of the first auto shows to be able to do it where the people are actually going to be able to drive the EVs. There's all kinds of insurance hurdles nowadays after things have happened in this world. And thankfully, we're moving forward with people being able to drive electric vehicles at the auto show and do test drives right there. So we're aiming to have anywhere from 6 to 8 different vehicles that you'll be able to try. I know we have a Ford Lightning. We'll have the ID4. We're working on multiple vehicles that people can come out and test drive right there in front of the auto show to get their first electric vehicle experience.
Well, I have a connection with the Nissan guy, Steve Parrott. I'm sure you're familiar with Steve.
Yes,
Yeah, so I can make a phone call to Steve if you'd like. Well, actually, it would be Ray making the phone call to Steve. But man, you don't know who Ray is, but I promise you that
Pastor Parrott does.
Pastor Parrott does. Yes, he does. And so we will definitely make that phone call and say, Steve, they need an EV from Nissan. Could you bring that?
Yeah.
Could you supply
yeah,
that?
I think we can make the Nissan one happen. Where wish list would also be to have the Hummer. So call those GM people.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, your GM dealers need to really put the squeeze on Detroit.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they'll
They
probably
do.
be at the Detroit Auto Show in January.
Well, they'd have to.
Yeah,
Detroit would give them a spanking.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, so how much your ticket's going to be?
So we are getting away from Ticketmaster. We've got our own ticketing platform now. So online sales are going to be a lot more affordable and a better deal. They're $15 online. Tickets are available right now. You can get them from autoshow.com, from the HoustonAutoShow.com, or we have the automotiveshow.com. You can go get tickets there. And so $15 online. At the door, they'll be $20.
Wow, so that's a big savings to do it online. You know, it's so funny you should mention Ticketmaster. And look, they've served the purpose well all these years. But, you know, these add-on fees really tick me off when I go to everybody. Yeah, and add-on fees, service fee and, you know, this fee and that fee. No. I want to pay $15 for the ticket, and you absorb that. You know, make it work. And so I guess that I'm not by myself.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay.
Definitely. It's been one of the challenges in event planning, working with Ticketmaster for so long, that we can't get event pre-sales because they were $5 to $7 more per ticket in advance, and that's just working backwards.
Didn't you have a problem with Taylor Swift, Mike, getting tickets?
Yeah, I was going to say, Don, now he's out there with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
No, I went to see Lady Gaga.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Now, does that surprise you, Rochelle?
Not if you took your daughter with you.
No, but I did take a girl, so
okay, good.
You took a date.
I took a date.
Made it legal.
Yeah. So I made it legit looking anyway. But yeah, I went to see Lady Gaga. I'll never do that again. I'll never go to another concert down there at Minute Maid Park. That venue is just not set up for a concert. Sorry.
The baseball field?
The baseball field.
You went to a concert in the baseball field?
That's where Lady Gaga was, and she was way out there in center field, and here I am sitting at first base. That's a mile away out there. You can't see anything. Terrible. But
you won't have that problem at the
auto show.
Auto show. No, you get to get right up front with those vehicles.
There you go.
Now, have you changed the name? Is it really going to be Automotive?
We haven't officially changed it yet, but we really like it. We're kind of testing it out, putting it out there, see how it works.
Well, I love it. It's got it's got a little flair to
kind
it.
Of rolls.
Automotive.
Automotive. I mean, if Ford can call the front of the Ford Lightning, I think we can get away with the Automotive show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's rather unique. So it's going to be January 25th through the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And is it HoustonAutoShow.com?
Yes.
Yeah, you
can get tickets at HoustonAutoShow.com, HoustonBoatShow.com, or the AutomotiveShow.com. So plenty of ways to find your tickets. It's all going to lead back to the same place. This makes for a great Christmas present, stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
Get this for your car fan. You can print them off and put them right in the stocking.
I love that. That's a great idea.
And you don't have to pay the Ticketmaster fees.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's a movement afoot to get away from that because those of us that go places every time you go to a concert, all these add-on fees, the $20 ticket now costs $40.
Yeah, just for processing. What little minion are you paying back there to do processing?
Yeah, exactly. I just don't get it at all. Well, so anything else we want to add? Can I get my famous chili dog there at NRG Center?
Aramark has got plenty of concessions there for you, but they have changed. Everything at NRG is now cashless. So even when you go to pay for parking to get into NRG Center, it's a $20 parking fee. You have to have a credit card.
Ooh.
Any concessions inside are also credit card only. So make sure that you have your plastic with you to be able to get into the show. We're also changing on-site tickets so that when you get to the door, if you didn't get advance tickets, we're going to have a faster ticketing system with kiosks right there in the lobby instead of having to wait in long lines to see a ticket taker.
Very neat.
So things will be much smoother. If you've been in the past and had to wait in those lines and you're thinking, I don't want to deal with that again, don't worry, we've solved those problems. So a lot of change and efficiencies have come, and we're making this event a lot better. I'm very excited to see it all come together in January.
Me too.
Beer garden.
And the beer garden.
In the beer garden.
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you going on vacation for the holidays again?
You know it. We got to head down to Mexico. So if you need me to bring you something back, give me a call.
Sombrero. We all need sombrero.
Tequila.
Yeah, well, we can get that.
Yeah. All right. Rochelle, it's always a pleasure to see you. Good to talk to you.
Same. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
And we'll talk to you again when we get a little bit closer.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Happy holidays.
And to you.
Merry Christmas.
Very cool.
Ah, very cool. Yes. Automotive.
Automotive.
I'm-
I like it.
I'm in.
I'm excited.
I am too.
We got some good stuff coming up. We really do. Well, starting tomorrow, and then we've got Loopy Tortillas,
What's tomorrow?
Coffee and Chrome.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Coffee and
yes.
Chrome and Loopy
I
Tortillas.
didn't know which
and
way you were
and
going with that.
Well, just car events and socializing in the car world.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Suze down there dreaming. I heard a little.
I heard that too.
Yeah, mhm.
She's been kind of little sassy today.
She has been a little sassy.
She's been sassy.
Mm-hmm.
She barked at me. She was barking at Leslie, barking at Mike.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wanting something. Food, mainly.
Food, yeah, mainly. Well, she knows it's the
It's the in real
luncheon.
time luncheon.
Christmas
luncheon. Thanks
Thank you,
to
George.
Uh-huh. George Skelton has sent some Perini Ranch. And the thing is, it's massive. A brisket, and it is looking yummy.
It was mooing on your porch, I'm sure.
Earlier today, yeah, exactly. I don't know how to get the smoking flavor on it overnight, but somehow that all happens. Okay. Got a couple of headlines I want to get in before the top of the hour. We've got 10 minutes here. Mars, what are you doing down there?
He's
I'm
doing
sending
his
a text.
taxes.
Is it one of your people out there or something?
No, to Rochelle.
Oh, to Rochelle.
Yeah, it's business.
It's business.
Business?
Okay.
You doing some business?
You're
Doing some
doing it
business
while
down
we're
here.
on the air. You're doing
Yeah,
it.
well,
Well,
doing
you were
business.
busy talking at the time.
I'm not now. Okay, you go ahead. Because
Now he's going to talk.
Do business.
now I'm going to talk because this is a pretty fascinating story. This is from Automotive News. Federal Communications Commission, the people that run broadcasts and stuff, has declared ringless voicemails, a marketing tool used by some automotive dealers, illegal without the consumer's consent, ending a half-decade debate over whether the technology fell under federal robocall restrictions outlined in the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. In its November 21st declaration, the FCC said the phone calls that leave a message on consumers' cell phone voicemails without making the typical ring sound are illegal.
Wow.
And the FCC can enforce violations or consumers can file lawsuits in court. Now, I personally have not received
I was
that.
going to say, I've never had
but
one.
somebody has gotten a hold of my number, and I'll bet you if I open this right now, there'll be some sort of a commercial on there. Well, there's not.
I occasionally
Which is-
get.
Well, I did quit writing it on the walls in the bathrooms.
Was it you?
Well, I quit. I stopped.
Yeah, what,
But
last week?
Well,
They
I haven't had a chance this
you had an
morning.
intervention.
But so it's saying that they can leave a voicemail message without it ever ringing?
Without
Yeah.
it ringing. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
However, there has been a surge of court cases in recent years with dealers paying millions of dollars in settlements. In June, for instance, Moss Brothers Auto Group, a Riverside, California dealership group, was ordered to pay $2.5 million in a class action settlement. I have not received this myself. Have you?
No, huh?
You?
I occasionally get a text. I'm trying to buy my house in some neighborhood that I don't even know of.
Yeah, but
hey,
I
we're going to
get
make you
the
an offer
notice
on your
to
house.
the text. I mean, it dings or whatever
yeah.
I've got the setting
Right.
at.
Well, apparently there's some way that these marketers, I guess, get around your phone not ringing, but then you'll get a notification that
Yeah, you
there's
get
a
a voicemail.
voicemail message and it's from some dealership. I guess they can buy the service. I did not know that, but apparently
didn't
it's a
either.
thing.
Did
Okay.
not know.
What do I know?
Oh.
Toyota and Honda are losing loyal owners to rival brands that are further ahead in the electric vehicle transition,
Oh boy, here we go.
including
Here we
Tesla,
go.
Ford, and Hyundai and Chevrolet, according to a new report from S&P Global Mobility. Toyota and Honda executives said they are accelerating EV projects after waiting for the market to mature, with Toyota chairman Akio Toyoda showing 16 future Lexus and Toyota battery electric vehicles to journalists nearly a year ago to prove the point, but they still don't have one. EV share in the U.S. has more than doubled now to 5.2% in the 12-month period ending September 30th, according to S&P Global.
So 5% of the people own an EV, and we're spending billions of dollars to get the other 95% to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't tell you how long it's going to take to get the charge up. That sticks with me. You know, you go to a restaurant, they got to do all the cholesterol and the sodiums and all that. They got to list all that. Why can't they list it for what it's going to take to charge it?
It depends on your charger.
Work on that.
Well, like I say, I think that what we need to do is we need to get into the power generator on wheels that you can tow behind your
There's
electric
another
car.
one. I think you just gave somebody an idea.
Or,
Yep.
you know, they've got those little bitty, almost portable carrying type Honda generators. Now, it may take you days and days and days to power up your car with one of those little bitty generators, but at least it's something.
Well, but I got one of those little suitcase. It's the older 2,000 watt, but it's it'll run 12 hours on a tank of gas. So, I mean.
You've got one of those?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I borrow it?
Well, he lives in Neederville. He lives in like Hurricane Alley up there.
Yeah,
he does.
That's
yes.
the reason we got it.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate.
Yes, you can borrow it. It needs to be run, actually.
Here's something that I just had to close out this hour of the show with. Ready?
Yep.
From Automotive News,
Uh-oh.
Hertz Corporation vehicles, previously rented by U.S. Secret Service agents, burst into flames at Nantucket Memorial Airport early Monday morning. You know the man from Nantucket, according to several media reports.
Yeah.
A large fire involved 5 vehicles that had been rented to the Secret Service for President Biden's visit to Nantucket for Thanksgiving. Local fire officials said the fire was not suspicious, although the incident sparked national conspiracy theories, according to Forbes. Investigators are focusing on a white Ford Expedition as the ignition source for the fire, although the official cause is still undetermined. In a statement released Thursday, the Secret Service said, quote, "The Secret Service had rented the vehicles for the president's trip and dropped the SUVs off at Hertz on Sunday night. We were made aware of one Ford SUV catching fire early Monday morning. That SUV was parked next to several other vehicles, which also caught fire because of their proximity to the Ford SUV." And they continue. "We had no issues when we drove the vehicles, and they were returned without incident. The Ford SUV that caught fire was a Secret Service support vehicle and not used to transport any protectees. We look forward to following up with local fire authorities on their review of the incident." Now, airport staff spotted the fire in the rental car overflow area around 5:22 a.m. via the airport's closed-circuit television system, according to a statement from the airport. Staff activated an alert system and responded to the fire alongside Nantucket firefighters and police officers. The man from Nantucket. The 2021 Ford Expedition was recalled in May for its battery junction box, which Ford warned can cause fires, and advised owners to park outside and away from structures when possible.
Well,
That's kind of what they did.
Outside, yeah.
Yeah, they were outside and in the overflow area.
And parked next to other vehicles.
Yeah.
Nay.
Had it surrounded.
They apparently had it surrounded.
FBI.
Right.
Maybe Hunter dropped one of his little smoky things and
Hunter has a smoky thing?
whatever those. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have. I
Nice
really.
try.
I'm going to save the Carvana story for next hour
okay.
because it's just too good.
I've got this.
It's another Carvana story. No, we don't. I don't need that just yet. But as you probably have heard by now, the Senate passed legislation to avert a crippling U.S. rail strike.
Oh, yeah.
On an 80-15 vote. The bill would impose a labor agreement hammered out by rail companies, labor leaders, and the Biden administration months ago, but rejected by workers in 4 of 12 unions. Rail operators are set to begin slowing down operations as soon as this week in preparation for a strike, in part to make sure cargo isn't left stranded. Well, thank goodness, because I understand that it was going to cost like some ridiculous amount, $1 billion a day or something, in lost everything And, your alternator that you ordered a month ago that's on the rail car headed this way, it wouldn't have made it here. So that would have been a big, big mess. All right. I think I've got all that in now.
Okay.
The Carvana story will be next hour.
All right.
I'm saving it.
Speaking of alternators on the train.
Okay. You have 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, well.
Can you not see the clock there?
I can see that clock.
Okay.
So the brake module for my truck that I ordered 14 months ago, every few months I call them. Is it coming? No, it's coming here. It's coming here. So I tried to call them 3 times last week, and I couldn't get into them. So I went over there and went up to the service advisor and said, I want to check on my part that's been ordered now 16 months ago.
It's been canceled.
She couldn't believe it. Well, the reason I went is because the parts guy told me I wasn't on his list anymore, and I'd already paid for the part. Well, anyway, lo and behold, she goes to the back a couple of times and says, your part's here.
It's got this much dust on it because it's been sitting back there.
It didn't have a name on it, so they didn't know who it belonged to, but somehow or another in the computer it said my part was in, but it was just sitting on the shelf.
No inventory.
So I'm going to go get it Tuesday, but I'm
You
trying.
better hurry up and get over there before they send it back.
Or sold to somebody else. Double the money.
All right, that's it for this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Our number 3 starts in just a second.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com.
Live from Studio A in Houston, Texas, USA. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Mr. Clint Cox joins us with the Texas VW Drag Racing Association.
Right.
Man, I love that. Had a chance to drive the 2022 Toyota 4Runner. I'll give you my thoughts on it. We'll also have the cruise-in calendar, and later we'll have This Week in Auto History. It's just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars down there in the fuchsia shirt. Is it fuchsia? What? Isn't fuchsia green?
I thought fuchsia was like a pink or a red.
I did too.
It looks pink to me.
Everything's pink to you.
Everything. Hey. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
Conrad's out today. Don Armstrong here. Glad you could join us. You know, in the third hour of our show, it does get a little weird.
Yeah. I was just in the In Wheel Time cafeteria putting some things in the fridge for
Later,
Yeah.
for our In Wheel Time Christmas luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks and courtesy to Mr. George Skelton. We
Yep.
thank you, George, for sending the Perini Ranch brisket that we are going to dive into.
Oh, yeah.
That ought to be we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's going to be
I
fun.
bought some special mustard, some special nice-looking rolls at HEB.
Is it
some?
your special mustard or just special mustard?
It's my special mustard.
Okay.
My horseradish mustard.
Okay.
I like that mustard.
Remember?
The Texas VW Drag Racing Association. Clint Cox, good morning to you, sir.
Oh, can't hear him.
No, we can't. You need to unmute yourself, Clint, because I think that you're muted. Can you unmute? Because oh, here we go. I got you now. Say
Can you hear
something.
me now?
I can hear you now.
Good.
Yeah. So Clint Cox, VW, Texas VW Drag Racing Association. I told the story in the first hour of our show. Back in my day, which was a long, long time ago, because you can see the gray hair on my head, so it gives you an idea of how old I really am. When I first got into drag racing, I was in high school and went down to a place called Houston International Raceway. And it was on 45, the Gulf Freeway. There's a Walmart that sits there now. It's in Dickinson, or was in Dickinson. And we're standing along the fence right up there by the start line. And they were doing, I don't know, some match racing or whatever. And up comes this Volkswagen, a Bug, a Beetle. And he pulls up, and we're all kind of going, no big deal. And
That's
he
about the typical response.
and he had this long stinger-looking thing out the back end of it, which was, I guess, the exhaust pipe from collective headers that he had on the thing. And of course, pretty much the whole back end back there where the engine is located didn't have any back fenders on it, didn't have a hood on it, nothing. That it was just the engine was back there exposed. He pulls up there and let me tell you something. He dumped the clutch on that thing when the light turned green. I have never in my entire life seen a Volkswagen go that fast, that quick down the track. He blew everybody away. I was blown away myself. I'm going, oh my God, that's no Volkswagen that I've ever been in before.
You should come out and watch them now since the technology has gotten so much better. They're a lot faster than they used to be.
Are they the same engine, same air-cooled four-cylinder?
So, yeah, they're still a boxer, like a flat four.
Right.
And now they've, there's guys running fuel injection and turbos and nitrous and all kinds of stuff.
I love it.
So we've got guys running, in the mid 5-second, 8th mile.
A mid 5-second, 8th mile. So is it mainly 8th mile stuff?
So we do 8th mile. There's a lot of guys on the East Coast and West Coast. They do some quarter mile stuff, but we mostly do 8th mile here.
Well, you must know John Rawson. He's got the Super Beetle in his showroom.
Yeah, Super Beetle. That I didn't even know there was such a thing as a Super Beetle, but he was explaining to us basically it's a front suspension change from Volkswagen, I guess, 1970 or something?
Yeah, something
somewhere
like that,
in there. You probably know.
71.
There you go.
Pretty car.
So what kind of car, what Volkswagen do you have?
So I have a 1960. It's actually a European model, so it has the semaphores. The turn signals are in the doorposts.
Oh, yeah.
And then me and my buddy Chris, who's here with me listening, we just built a 2110 cc turbo, a blow-through turbo engine for it, and that's the transmission right here behind me. And well, there's the floor pan, and then the body I just picked up from getting some metal work done. It's on the trailer outside. So.
Now, on the 60, you said do you race that, or is that like a daily driver?
So actually, it's a funny story. I got that car. It was willed to me from a guy who was the original owner. We became friends, and he passed away from cancer. And he willed that car to me, and it was pretty well all original. And I tried to drive it like that, but it's just 36 horsepower doesn't do it for me. So we tore it down, built a bigger motor, built the transmission, did the floor pan, made it run and drive good, and then I left the body all original. So when I had some metal work done, I had it made to where we could do the drag race stuff with it, but still keep the original look. So I'm running bumpers and blinkers and all the stuff and the original deck, everything's there. So it's kind of got that sleeper look, but it's going to run pretty good now.
I love it. Did in the Volkswagen family, the Bug family, and I guess we're just going to confine it to that. Were there different size engines available?
Yeah. So when they, as they go through the years, they obviously got the displacement got larger. So they started out with like a 25 horsepower engine in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and then it went to 36 horsepower up until 60. And then they went to 40 horsepower in 61. And so they just progressively got a little bit larger. But from the Bus to the Ghia to the Thing to the Bug, they all kept the exact same engine, basically.
Yeah. And I assume since billions of those things were made, parts are not a problem to get.
No, and now there's such a big aftermarket market for the all the performance parts, and then you can buy all the body panels and windows and window rub. I mean, you can get everything. It's just now, just like anything, you have the wait time for supply, but it's available.
Now, do you have anybody in your drag racing association that has one of those 32 window buses?
I was thinking the same thing.
23 window.
23, whatever, 100 window.
I'm sure there's somebody in I know there's a couple guys that drag race with us that have some of those buses, but they don't race them.
No, because they're worth too much money. You wouldn't want to tear something up on that because they're so rare.
And I saw something online. The new version of the bus, the Volkswagen bus, looks kind of cool.
Have you seen the new Volkswagen bus? I don't think that it's out yet, but have you seen it?
No, it's not out yet, but I think they're doing like an electric version.
Yes.
And it looks pretty neat. I know we have some friends down in Austin. They have a YouTube channel, and they met up with the people from Volkswagen, and they got to go ride around in it, and they shot a video on it. So looks pretty neat.
It does. It's just smacks of having some sort of conversion done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's not for me because you can't get grease under your fingernails and yell and fight and slam doors whenever your carburetors don't work right.
That's right. No, you'd be fighting over dielectric grease.
Yeah, exactly.
I am thrilled to talk to you. So, do you guys race? Obviously, are you with IHRA, NHRA? Who is the organizing bunch that organizes your particular bunch of people?
Me. I do pretty much everything. So I have a relationship with some IHRA tracks. I'm good friends with Galen Smith at XRP. And so we race there a lot, and we race at Little River. Some of the guys go down, they do a lot of testing down at Houston Motorsports Park. We have a lot of guys from the Houston area. And now we're going to start running at, what do they call that track now? It just got bought out. It was Redline, and then I-30 and Poseidon Dragway is up in Caddo Mills. So we're going to start racing there too, I think. But basically our association, I just kind of do everything. I talk to the track. They let me, they give me a date, and we just go out there, and I don't ask them for anything but a racetrack. We do all our own entry fee and payout and tech, and I have my own set of rules, and so we just kind of do it. It's mostly for fun, but it gets pretty competitive.
Did you skew the rules to the point where now you can win every single race yourself?
So when we started, I won the first few races, but we had been going to the racetrack a lot. The drag racing for Volkswagens had kind of died out, except for the Pro Stocks. They still ran some. But for everybody else, it kind of died out for 15 or so years. So when I got my car built, me and my buddies, we were going to the racetrack and just taking turns driving it. And so I had a lot of seat time and uncomfortability on the tree and all that. And so when we got out there, I won the first several races, and they were starting to think it was rigged. But once everybody started figuring it out, it's much more competitive now.
Is that particular car that you run, is it strictly a drag car?
No, I drive it to work. I take the kids to baseball practice, and
I love it.
It's a street car. So we were running two classes. Now we added one. So it's mostly bracket racing. So we have what we call a street class, and then a pro class. And the street class is mainly, you know, your daily driver stuff, street tires, no slicks, no wheelie bars, that kind of stuff. And then your pro class, slicks, wheelie bars, pretty much anything goes. But we don't run delay boxes and that kind of stuff. So you're still running, you know, running bottom bulb. And then this year we're adding like an 8.0 index class for all the middle ground cars to run a little heads up stuff. And then we have at our big races, we have an outlaw class. So pretty much run what you brung as long as it's Volkswagen powered. And we also have the Pro Stocks, which is a pounds per cubic inch naturally aspirated heads up class.
Do you have any dragsters?
We've had dragsters. They're pretty rare. We had one a couple years back come out and race from California, and then there was a local guy who bought one and ran it for a couple races. But he, unfortunately, I believe it was last month, just passed away.
Oh wow!
So maybe somebody local buy that car and it'll be back out with us. But but yeah, so pretty much. We set the rules so easily that if you have a car that's Volkswagen powered, you can come run with it.
So in other words, if I had a Myers-Manx clone and it had a Volkswagen engine in it, then by golly, I could race.
Absolutely. If it had a roll bar and you wear an arm restraint, you're in.
One arm restraint.
Arm restraint, sure.
You had mentioned that on the internet. I think I've seen Volkswagens with a big front engine blower on it, massive slicks and all that. Do they still run those? I've seen them.
So there's guys out there that have Volkswagen bodied cars that run a V8 in the front.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
And so sometimes when we have our bigger races, some of those guys will come out, maybe enter in the car show, or they'll buy a tech card and we'll let them run kind of during the test and tune, or they'll set up a grudge race with one of the outlaw Volkswagens.
Now, are people that have these Volkswagen engines, are they still fiddling with exhausts? Because all I can remember is that great big single stinger-looking thing coming out of the back. So,
oh yeah,
do you have that on any of your cars?
Yep. So, well, now I'm going turbo, so it's just kind of a turn down and wide open. But yeah, a lot. Probably, I would say 75% of the cars are running Stingers.
Do you have anything in the shop like that right now behind you?
Not with a Stinger, but my buddy Chris drove his car over. I'll show you. This is my floor pan that we're redoing right now, and the transmission. Yeah, I tried to keep all my stuff out of the view here, but this is my buddy Chris's. So it's a 61 ragtop car, and it's a 2332. It's CB Performance. It sells most of the parts. It's an aluminum aftermarket case, 48 IDA Webers. But then it's just, bare bones street car. It's I'm trying to see if I can see what I'm showing you here.
So what does that do in the 8th?
It's got a racing seat and a roll bar, and then, just basic minimal whatever you need to drive it on the street, And then here's my wow, it's really bright. Sorry. I'll go to the other side. This is my street car.
There you go.
That we're doing.
What years were the small rear windows?
So they started building the Volkswagen early mid 40s. So up until 53, they had what is called a split window. So it's an oval, but it's got the bar in the middle.
Yep.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then they built, so from 53 to 57 is when they had the smaller oval.
Yeah.
And then 58, they went to the rectangular.
Well, for
window.
whatever reason, I don't know. I like those small single pane glass rear windows, those ovals back there.
Small.
Yeah, they look really cool. They're a pain in the butt to see out of when you're driving, but they look cool.
Clint, with all the cars and what you do, why Volkswagen?
We get asked that question a lot, because I'll tell you, you can put a lot of money in a Volkswagen to run mid sevens in the 8th mile. I mean, it's almost disheartening how much money you spend to go that slow.
To go that
but
slow.
it's a passion. So the people are really cool. and outside of drag racing, there's a lot of there's a big Volkswagen scene with car shows and camp outs and cruises and swap meets and that kind of stuff. But I grew up around Volkswagens. My dad was into them, but never drag racing really. He was more into off-road stuff and then just, cruising around on the street and that kind of thing. But it's my brother has them, my dad has them, my uncle has them. It's just my first car was a Volkswagen, and it's just stuck with me.
Yeah, you were born
Can't
into
get
it.
away from it.
Yep.
Have you ever done any Myers-Manx conversions?
We've worked on them. We've worked on a couple. I've never owned one. That's one of the only cars I haven't owned.
Yeah. Well, I just learned recently that there was some work involved in getting the conversion, getting the body to fit on the chassis. And
right. You have to shorten. You have to shorten the pan in order to fit those bodies.
Yes. And it was, I don't know, I've always had this fascination about owning not necessarily an original one because now they're worth a fortune, but a clone. And
right.
I just thought that would be really neat. And
they're definitely going up in value. The original Myers-Manx and the clones are pretty valuable now.
Yeah, it's nuts. So when is your next event? Do you guys ever get together for car shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of local car shows that happen, and we'll take our cars and I try to promote, wherever we go. Just everybody around here already knows me and what we do, but I still, you might get that one guy who doesn't have Facebook or whatever. So we go out and we'll wave our flag on, on the trailer or whatever, and people ask questions, or we wear hats or shirts or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of local Volkswagen shows, and then there's we go just to the track. Yeah, just to the racetrack and talk to people who aren't really into Volkswagens, but are kind of curious as to what we do. We actually had our last race was a 165 race, we called it. So we run these cars. There was no rules except it had to be Volkswagen powered and manually shifted, and it had to be on a 165/80 rear tire. So it's the factory 4-inch wide tire that came on them from Volkswagen on these cars that some of them have upwards of 400 horsepower trying to get down a racetrack. And it was interesting to say the least. The track owner loved it. The owner from Tulsa Motorsports Park, he was there. He loved it. And they were running pro mods and dragsters and all kinds of stuff it was live streamed on MAV TV. And, there was a lot of people, they've been watching pro mods and these fast cars all weekend. So when we got up there, the stands filled up and the fences were full and everybody was just, they didn't know what to think because these cars are skating down the track and coming, it was a sight to see for sure. It was a good time.
How much fun is that? Well, Clint, it's great to talk to you. Please stay in touch with us, will you?
Absolutely.
You guys going to show up at any kind of a drag strip or something? Shoot us an email, let us know, and we'll promote it on the show.
So
go ahead.
Before we leave, I was going to tell you, September 16th is our next really big event, and we're calling it Texas versus the World. So we've got guys coming from other countries, several states, both coasts, all over the country coming to try to beat us. And we've got $30,000 in payout money that we're doing. And so it's going to be a really big drag race, car show, swap meet, the whole thing.
Where is it going to be held?
That's at Extreme Raceway Park in Ferris.
Okay. Ferris, Texas. All right. Was that up north, going to Dallas?
Yeah, so it's about 10 miles south of Dallas.
Yep, gotcha. All right.
So.
Well, Clint, again, thank you so much. Texas
Yes,
VW
sir.
Drag Racing Association. We'll put a link on our website and on our Facebook page. And we hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys reaching out.
Thank
bet.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Clint Cox.
How much fun is that?
I know. That is underscore fun.
It makes you want to go get one.
It does. Let's do this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2022 Toyota 4Runner, and it comes in all of these different trim levels, and who was to know? The SR5 is the base line, the Trail Special Edition, the TRD Sport, the SR5 Premium, the TRD Off-Road, the TRD Off-Road Premium, the Limited, and the TRD Pro. I had the 4x4 TRD Sport, which is all new this year. That's why I got a chance to drive it. It's a standard SUV. You're familiar with the 4Runner, been out forever and ever and ever. 4 passengers and a driver. Exterior changes from last model year, all new in 2010. 2010, Jeffrey.
My son-in-law David has a 4Runner.
A 2010?
No,
Because that's when they came. This body style
2010.
came out in 2010.
It's
This, sir, is
a little
20.
newer.
We're about to go to 2023, and
So
they haven't changed the body style.
Wayback Machine.
Square body, traditional, 12-year-old design. Chrome trim up front gives a more city look. Ours is the tougher version that didn't have any chrome up front. TRD Off-Road adds a skid plate look to the lower front valance panel. Traditional rear hatch. What I liked about it, the semi-traditional look. Because if you're into that sort of stuff, throwback, by golly, here you go.
Pretty basic.
What could use improvement? A refresh. That's what could use improvement. Interior, traditional interior design, does have a built-in touchscreen, so they did carve out a place in the dash for the actual touchscreen there. Upper trim levels get a goosed up look. I wrote that, goosed up.
It sounds good. I like it.
It's with a hyphen. No passive phone charger in this one. Phone storage, it doesn't. There's none. There's no place to put it. You have to use a cup holder. Like I said, it needs a little updating. Cargo trunk room, adequate and appropriate for the two rows of seating. Not so much with 3 rows, and you can get the 3rd row in there. I don't know why anybody would do such a thing, but go for it if you want to. What I liked, the optional roll-out floor tray in the storage area. Now, it takes up about 2 inches in height at the bottom of the cargo area, but you click a switch on the thing, and it's got a handle on it, and you pull all the stuff out. So if you got groceries way back and you don't want to reach, you just slide them out there. It's kind of cool. 4-liter V6 engine that cranks out 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. That has a 5-speed automatic transmission. 5-speed automatic transmission. Again, I think that we could go for a 6-speed or maybe an 8-speed or maybe even a 10-speed. It does need a refresh. It'll tow up to 1,700 pounds, which isn't a lot. So chances are you're not going to be able to tow that boat that with the in and out ski well and all that sort of thing. 16 miles per gallon in the city and 19 on the highway for a combined of 17. I got 16.5 miles per gallon over 337.4 miles. It's amazing to me that they still sell this vehicle in the volumes that they do. Apparently, everybody likes the look of it. It is old school. It's body on frame construction. And it looks okay. It's tired. The design is tired. It's 12 years old.
Well, it's Toyota. It's reliability.
If you look at the Bronco, the styling on the Bronco, a lot of that stuff's coming back, and they never went away.
But Mike, the design of this, okay, I got that. But there are so many other things. For instance, like the engine and the transmission combo.
Yes, I agree.
And it doesn't have.
It needs to be updated there.
It doesn't have the passive phone charger in it.
Fits a price point for people, and again, it's Toyota, so it's got reliability. Yeah.
The engine and transmission in this thing work well together. What could use improvement? Clearly, the fuel mileage. Ride and handling. This is an off-road capable SUV. That is, this particular one is 4-wheel drive, so it rides a little bit rougher than you would say your typical crossover vehicle, but I will say that it doesn't beat you to death. They made a nice combination there. Body on frame construction, compared to newer off-roaders, it's pretty much head-to-head in that category. Base trim price, $42,025.
There you go.
Prices tested, $47,959. The base model price, you just want to get into a Toyota 4Runner, $38,105. Now here's the competition. The Nissan Pathfinder, $42,440. The Subaru Ascent, $45,945. And the Land Rover Defender, I had to put that in there because it really does. If you look at it, it's kind of head-to-head. $54,000 for that Land Rover.
Wow.
And that Land Rover is going to cause you to pull your hair out.
Heartache and pain.
Dude, Land Rover Jaguar.
I actually saw one the other day.
I don't get it, but whatever. If you're into names, and if you want, I drive a Land Rover, okay, or a Jaguar, okay.
Hey, I've got special mustard.
You got special mustard too?
And I brought mayonnaise for you. Ugh, gross. But that's what you want. That's what you'll get.
Cool.
I did want to remind everyone that is listening to this program or watching online that the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show streams on iHeartRadio from the iHeartRadio app and Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And, as you well know, 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. Did I read that okay?
You did.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Brandon Emmons with the C10 Truck Club. Conrad is out. Jeff's going to have This Week in Auto History. We'll get you updated on my favorite ongoing story, and that is the story of Carvana.
Oh, boy, can't wait.
You seem to make the news every week.
Gather
something
around,
and it ain't
children.
good.
Gather around.
Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Conrad's out. Hopefully he'll be back next week. I talked to him this week, and I'll be back. Okay. Very good. We'll take you for your word there. Joining us now from the Show and Shine and Toy Drive over in Port Neches Riverfront Park in Port Neches, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Brandon Emmons, the man, the myth, the legend. Howdy, sir.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Well, we're doing fine. How's it going over there?
Man, weather's not too bad, not too great, but they're rolling in.
Are they?
Flip it around. Show y'all some nice vehicles if y'all ready.
Yeah, we're always ready.
I know it's better than looking at me.
Well, yes, it
You're
is.
not getting any arguments over here.
Yeah, just keep going.
Hey, y'all
thought-
make me feel good and say no.
Push the button.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
So
A little square body.
where exactly is Port Neches Riverfront Park? I know it's in Port Neches, but where?
We are in Port Neches, pretty much. We're probably about an hour and a half south of Houston, and probably 15 minutes southeast of Beaumont. So when I say we're on the water,
It's on the river.
the water.
Gotcha.
So the park is basically sitting on the water. We got a restaurant and a bar and all kinds of cool stuff next to it with a pavilion and stuff. So it's a cool place to hang out.
C10 Soul. Is that the name of your club?
That is me. C10 Soul Texas on Instagram. And we're also part of C10 Club Texas, which is C10 Club Texas is pretty much all over the state of Texas. So we venture pretty far.
And they're all C10s.
No, I kind of parked some in the front. My guys usually get here earlier, but we got some. This Mach 1 right here is probably one of the nicest you ever see. Check this car out.
Oh, my.
This is Mr. Perwin's car. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll say. I actually kind of like the green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual. Mm-hmm. Automatic. Nice.
So
Yeah.
this event goes on till 2 o'clock this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
So give me just enough time to drive over there and for you to close the door and I say goodbye and drive back.
There's a good mix of everything out here. A little lowrider S10, El Camino,
I love those El Caminos.
There's a
little 55 right here is pretty nice.
yeah.
It is nice.
The cab over there on the far side.
Get there.
Yeah.
Almost
There he is.
green because
I've seen him around
Over here.
town a couple of times.
this is actually the first time I've seen this thing right here. He ain't ever came to one of my events, but
That's
things are pretty cool.
Yeah, that is a very nice truck. What is that, about a 54?
What year is that cab over? 48.
Oh, 48.
Wow.
My. Yep. Very nice.
And I got some of my guys over here with. That's pretty much.
There's somebody sitting in a lawn chair. That's me.
What year is that lawn chair?
Here's that lawn chair, yeah. Oh, there's a nice black C10.
Yeah, that's a GMC. Now this little C10 right here is kind of juiced up. It's got a supercharger.
Very nice.
Nice. Yes.
I got better for y'all. Y'all want to see some juice? This little step side over here has got some serious power under the hood.
The one with the hood
That-
closed.
As y'all can see, that's the water.
Yeah.
It's the water. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Am I a good photographer or no?
You're an excellent
Hey, you're
photographer.
awesome.
Doing great.
You're awesome.
Yeah. Probably be better if you turn the phone
Little
sideways.
step right here, but this little thing right here, it's got twins on it.
Twin turbos. Very nice.
Twin turbos.
Very nice. Could you turn that phone sideways?
There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, see, y'all know more about it than I do.
Well, we try to be up to the very latest and greatest style and technique here.
Yeah. You got quite a few different cars there.
right here.
Yeah. Nice stereo too.
So, what in the world?
That's a 56 Chevy?
That's an interesting paint scheme on
Yeah, I
that
like
Well,
car.
it's an interesting engine too.
Oh, it's not a Chevy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
a-
a
No,
Chevy.
not a
That's
Chevy.
not a Chevy.
Is that a Ford?
It's got to
I
be
think it's a Buick. I'm going with
Buick. I'm
Buick.
thinking
That
It's a,
can't be-
it's a
that can't be
54
no-
Olds.
Buick with a
Oldsmobile.
with a wing.
Oldsmobile bubble.
Oh,
Oldsmobile.
Come on, guys. Y'all
That's-
should know better than
that's
that.
right up. Well, Conrad would have known that just by
Yeah,
first
he
glance.
would have.
Yeah,
And the
didn't.
wing.
Look at
That's
this little Chevy T right here is really pretty.
Well, this is quite a little cruise-in thing you got
Soiree.
going on here. I had no clue.
Man, I'm like big time. Y'all didn't know that?
No, we didn't know that, but now we do. Now that you've told us.
that's
so
pretty. I
so
like
all
that.
these. So,
I'm a legend in my own mind.
Yes, you are.
Look at this Camaro right here. It's a buddy of mine's Camaro. It's pretty cool.
So, have you been planning this event for a while?
Man, this is our 5th annual. So we have it every year, and basically we get all the toys out within 2 weeks, which is difficult. But we get with all the local schools and churches, and we really got a list of people that they're in need. So we put them all up in my buddy's shop, and we start giving out wish lists. And the money we collect, we usually go to like Walmart, give them $500 and let them buy, whatever they want for their kids or whatever.
That's nice. That's very nice.
So it's all local. We tried doing some of those places that do it, but they tend to just stick everything in a shop and don't give it out. We like to give it all out.
Look at that truck. Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, and of course it's swapped. So
Nice.
Man, you got some
He's
really
he's on
nice
air,
vehicles
too.
that showed up
Good
there.
quality stuff.
Yeah.
this one right here is really pretty.
Now, did anybody have any of these cars over at Autorama this year?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Can I say this live or no?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what you're going to say.
I was supposed to go, and I was gonna put my truck with MTI, and I just wasn't real impressed this year. It's I don't know if it's because of the weather or what, but man, they're just it compared to last year, it was about half.
Well, no, the car count was up. Maybe they just didn't let you into the part of the car show that you needed to go see.
Yeah.
Well,
weather
it
did
was
play
the-
into it. Weather did play
it
a
was
big
the-
factor.
It was the quality stuff that kind of disappointed me.
I got you. Well,
Check this thing out right here. This guy's got a wild little setup.
oh wow,
What?
that's not the little 4-cylinder anymore, is it?
No, he had this thing at SEMA.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, no.
Yeah, he has got some serious money tied up.
What
in
is that?
phone.
A sling or what?
Something like
What is
that.
that?
Slingshot. They call it a
Slingshot.
slingshot.
Not
Yeah.
a fan.
And I had two of my buddies that just got back from SEMA were supposed to show up, but the weather's bad. He texted me this morning. I said, man, I didn't even take my truck out here. I just brought my little square body because I didn't want to. The roads are kind of nasty.
It was
That's
pretty
nice
foggy early this morning.
That's
Yeah, it's trying to burn off, but the roads are still just.
that's a very nice 56 there, I think. Very nice. Well, that's quite a little
nice and clean it
yeah,
is.
it's quite a little gathering that you've got there. Hopefully, maybe next year you'll invite us and we can come over there.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna start sending y'all invites to everything. Then you're trying to make me feel bad.
Well, we have a way of doing that.
Yeah, we do.
We make people feel bad all the time.
I'm working on trying to get y'all here at Riverfest. I talked with Mike, so hopefully we can work something out on that. Get y'all live here for Riverfest. I usually have about 300 vehicles at Riverfest, and we do it on the other end of the park.
Now, from
Under the
Houston,
trees.
from Houston, Texas, how would I get there?
Take you about an hour and a half.
Is
It
it
depends on what
Oldsmobile?
part of Houston, but about an hour and a half.
No, but I know. But I mean, what? Am I off of I-10?
I-10.
I-10 to what?
Yeah, I-10 to Beaumont, then you would just cut over, and we're probably 15 minutes outside of Beaumont.
Yeah, when you come into Beaumont, you would take the 6996 287 south down towards Port Arthur. Then there's a split off there
Yeah.
that takes 347 to splits off to Nederland. It's actually the other side of Nederland, but then there's another road that comes off of that to get into Port Neches. It'll take you right down by the park.
It's over there.
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 And but it is a nice park in the area where they're at right now for the Riverfest. That'll all be rides and concessions and all kinds of stuff. It's a big.
You've gone before.
Yes, I actually have.
You
Yeah, it's
take
actually
one?
a big deal. They usually have about, I don't know, I think between 30 and 50,000 people each year that come by because they have the boat races with it.
Yep. The boat race
And
is
then,
the big draw.
And I do the car show part of it, which is it's probably the biggest car show in the area, honestly, because everybody comes from all over because they want to come to see the races and all.
What kind of boat races are they?
Man, they got everything from them little Thunder Bomber boats to them ones that fly around at 100 something miles an hour. They have every class.
Yeah, it's some drag racing, and then they've also got some of them that make the loop out there in the river.
So with 50,000 people, that's probably like quadruples the population.
Oh,
yeah, our
not a very big
population
area.
is probably 13,000.
Well, there you go.
Very nice. Well, listen, we love it. Thank you very much for giving us the tour down there, Brandon. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. Like I said, hopefully we can do it again.
And,
bet.
And you guys are going to be down there at 2 o'clock. So for our viewers and listeners or followers that are over there in the Beaumont area, head on down there. It's at the Port Neches Riverfront Park in Port Neches, Texas.
There
All
you
right,
go.
man. Well, thanks again, and best of luck to you today.
All right, guys, you have a good one.
You
You
do
too.
the
See
See
same.
you later.
Brandon Emmons, the C10 Truck Club,
Yep.
C10 Soul. Yeah, like the Soul Train.
Yep.
Do you remember the Soul Train?
Soul
do.
Train.
Yep.
I think Soul Train's still out there, isn't it?
Well, in reruns.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because,
Don Cornelius.
yes, he committed suicide, by the way.
Did
you
he?
know that? Yeah,
Yeah.
he sure did.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. I guess because the show went off the air, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Man.
There was something going on.
Never understand why anybody does that, but
Yep.
much less somebody that's looks like they got a lot of stuff going
Well,
for
I mean,
them.
I liked him. I liked his hosting abilities.
Yeah. He was very cool.
He was very
suave.
Yep, very suave.
suave.
Yep. I remember getting off the radio station and going home, turning on the TV, laying on the couch, just while I was getting ready to nap from getting up at 3 o'clock in the
Don
morning to go
Cornelius.
work.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm, Don Cornelius.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Shall we do this week in auto history? It's a little bit early for
yeah,
that, but
I got
let's
it
do
loaded
it.
up here.
All right.
I have it
Why
loaded
don't you?
up.
Why don't you
We're
go
gonna
ahead?
Do this
Okay. Do this. Do that.
and do that and do that.
Okay.
We're getting there. Now, on this date, this is Conrad stuff, and I think you and I watched a show on this not very long ago, Don. But on this date, in 1942, the production Ford bomber, the first production Ford bomber,
yes.
the B-24 Liberator, rolled off the assembly line at Ford's massive Willow Run plant in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Yep.
Approximately 18,500 units, including 8,685 manufactured by Ford. It rolled out on that day. It holds a record as the world's largest, most produced bomber ever. Multi-engine aircraft and American military aircraft history. And the show, if you ever see it, it's a 30-minute thing on the bomber in Willow Run. It actually is pretty interesting in the way that America came together. It really is.
Well, I will tell you, I was thoroughly impressed, first of all, by the factory itself, because
Yeah.
they built that factory to make that bomber.
Yep.
And does the building still exist?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because it's massive.
What fascinated me is they had the property for the plant, and then when they started rolling out and building the plant, they didn't have enough property. They didn't want to pay taxes in the next county, so they built 2 turntables. So when the planes came out of the end of the factory, they put them on turntables, turned them 90 degrees to roll out, rather than going across the
Then
property.
they built the building in such it was an L shape.
Yeah.
Because they were just going to make it right straight,
Yep.
run it all right. Nope, they weren't going to go in the next
Yep.
county, so they jogged the building 90 degrees.
Yep.
And
It's just a fascinating story. And
Yeah.
They did it, and they built a bomber an hour. That was the whole goal.
Yeah.
1948, on this day, Australian Prime Minister Ben Chifley and 1,200 other people attended the unveiling of the first car to be manufactured entirely in Australia. An ivory-colored motor car officially designated as the 48 215, but fondly known as what? The Holden FX.
Ah,
In 1945, the Australian government had invited Australians' auto part manufacturers to create an all-Australian car. General Motors Holden's Automotive, a car body manufacturer, obliged producing the 48 215, a 6-cylinder 4-door sedan. It was an instant success. And
What year was that?
It was in 1948.
I had no
They built
clue.
100,000 of them and sold the first 5 years of production. What I have to say about that is crikey.
Crikey.
Crikey. Yeah.
Ah.
That was a different show for a different day. In 1960, while the brand achieved relatively good success in the 50s, a recession at the end of the decade led in part to Chrysler's decision to cut the DeSoto. The fateful announcement came on November 18, 1960. The final DeSotos would roll off the assembly line at Chrysler's Jefferson Avenue plant on this day of the same year in 1960. The very last model was a 1961 two-door hardtop with a 361 cubic inch, 265 horsepower V8.
Actually, that's a pretty good-looking car.
It is. It could have been yours for $3,100. That's
kind of expensive though back in the day.
I was going to say back then. Okay, 1980, the legendary yet often this isn't. He's got these out of order. That's a Cadillac.
Yeah, so do the Cadillac.
Well, there's no Cadillac on here. Legendary yet
That's your
often
Cadillac,
ridiculed.
isn't it?
No, that would be a great Cadillac. I'm going to move this forward because
Okay,
there's a.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll do that. There it is. There's the big boy. Legendary yet often ridiculed Yugo began to move down the Yugoslavian assembly line on this day in 1980. That's pretty recent. While the car may not be looked upon as favorable, but due to design, safety, and performance issue, it caused quite a stir.
It looks like a VW Rabbit.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Both domestically and European and abroad. So that's this day in 1980. But I think the Cadillac was in 80 as well. But we'll move on. Okay. 1990, 132 feet below the English Channel, workers drill an opening the size of a car.
The Channel.
The Channel, yeah. This was no ordinary hole. It connected the two ends of the underwater tunnel linking Great Britain and European mainland for the first time in more than 8,000 years.
How would they know that?
I don't know. They've got records.
Really?
I think they Googled it.
Okay.
Just saying.
I want you to get to that story. That one there.
Oh, this one? Okay.
The stolen vehicles.
Yeah, Conrad sent this, and we appreciate that. The top 10 stolen vehicles. Now, this is nationally, and this is put together by a Hot Wheels report of the National Insurance Crime Bureau, which is the NICB. This list represents 15% of the 15% of the stolen vehicles in the United States. You want to go 10 to 1?
Yeah, 10 to 1.
10 to 1. The number 10 vehicle nationally is the Toyota Corolla.
That is just so bizarre. Why would you want to steal a Toyota Corolla?
Parts, and they're
what I
popular
would
now
think,
for
parts.
speed and performance.
Parts cars?
Yeah.
The JDM stuff, yeah. Number 9 would be Jeep Cherokee or the Jeep Grand Cherokee, which...
I'm surprised it's not up higher on the food totem pole there.
Number 8 would be the Honda CR-V. Again, I think that relates to the number 10, the Toyota Corolla being an import.
I guess.
Parts-wise. Number 7, the Nissan Altima. Number 6 is the GMC Pickup, which I thought would be higher. Number 5, Toyota Camry. Number 4, Honda Accord. Number 3, Honda Civic. Number 2, Mike, is the Ford Pickup. And then, of course, the number 1 grand total here, the big one would be the Chevrolet Pickup.
I find that interesting. I mean, it's as many Ford trucks as they sell. I mean, so there's a lot of them out there. I'm not sure. I guess maybe, again, you're taking them to a chop shop?
Yeah, probably. Or you just...
I guess maybe so.
Could be. Now, the top 5 stolen cars in Houston, number 5 would be the Dodge Ram at 322, the Ford F-250 at 333, the Ford F-150 at 371, the GMC Sierra 1500 at 659 vehicles
That's quite
stolen.
a jump there.
Yeah, double. And then the number 1 is the Chevrolet Silverado at 1,490 vehicles.
What is it about the Chevrolets that everybody wants?
They build a lot of them, and they're around.
The LS engines in them?
Maybe they're just easiest to steal. I don't know. That would be the thought I'd have. And then that's the top 5. And then, of course, you go into the top 10, and they all pretty much mimic or mirror the national versus the top 5 in Houston.
Right.
So
it's over
just
3,000
pick a number.
cars.
Yep.
I'm trying to do the math in my head, and I have to take off my shoes. But,
oh, boy. I thought I smelled wood burning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about 3,200 cars. They're getting stolen.
Yep.
Stolen.
Stolen.
Stole.
They stole
They
it.
done stole it.
They stole it. You go, Andy. Get Barney on that, will you?
Carvana.
Boy, here we go. Get your popcorn, kids. Gather round.
Well, Carvana Company is pulling back on its third-party marketplace program.
Oh, tell me more.
This is from Automotive News. The exact status of that program, in which Carvana listed used cars and trucks from dealer partners and other third-party sources for sale on its website, alongside Carvana-owned and certified vehicles, is not clear. Its fate had been in question after a screenshot of an apparent program termination notice to the company's dealer partners circulated on social media in late October. The screenshot said the company would not accept new vehicle listings from dealerships after November 30th. Carvana had declined to answer queries about the program's status at that time. CEO Ernie Garcia confirmed the pullback last month. Carvana has offered few public details about how the program operates, including who it has partnered with and how the economics work. The vehicle rental company Hertz did disclose last October that it would sell some vehicles through Carvana. You just don't know what you're getting when you buy a car like this. In a November 2021 letter to shareholders, Carvana executives wrote, quote, "Vehicles sold through the Hertz partnership will be listed on Carvana's online marketplace and will be fulfilled through our operations." It's like a big chess game with cars, used cars. Some analysts said the program posed risks for dealerships. One such risk would be if a dealership listed its inventory on Carvana's website and ended up generating more customer traffic to Carvana's offerings rather than the dealership's own websites or physical location. It is a confusing ball of mess, is what it is.
So they're selling the Hertz vehicles. Are they going to go in that big containers so they can do that process, or they just go to the lot and pick it up?
I don't know, and they're not clear in the story about how all of that works because, to be honest with you, I don't think that regular dealerships really know how it works. They apparently allow Carvana to put a dealership's used car inventory on Carvana's website. So you think you're buying a Carvana car. Well, I guess in essence you kind of are, but they're really brokering it, from the way I understand it.
Right.
Brokering the car for the car dealership.
So
I don't know the answer to what every question you're going to ask.
No,
so this
I
is
can
a
see
generic
that's,
question.
That's part of their problem with their paperwork on this titling issue they're getting tagged with, because if they're selling a car that belongs to Billy Bob's Pontiac dealership down in Patuca and to somebody here in Houston, well, they're going to get the paperwork from Billy Bob's.
Who dreams that stuff up?
I think
somebody
Carvana
wearing
just wants a piece of that.
red plaid jacket and smoking cigars, kind of like Chevy Chase dealt with on the first vacation.
Yes.
It's all about
because
the money.
I can see now, like, what if that car belonged to
Hertz?
You know, are they going to tell you this is a rental car? Or if it's down coming from Florida where they just had the hurricane?
Doesn't know.
We don't know.
And I think Hertz sells them regionally. They don't sell them. They don't take them across the country.
But Carvana would.
Carvana would, but only on their website. Would they actually go get it? Because we read the horror stories from Carvana. You know, the reviews weren't that great. A lot of they weren't that great. You know, a lot
they're
of things
spending
in delivery
$1
and money.
bajillion dollars on ads on television.
Well, they're losing a bajillion too.
Yeah. You can't turn on the television without seeing a Carvana ad. We need to take a quick break, and we'll be back and close out today's show after this. Oh, No, we're not. I don't know why.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, and get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
Well, you know what that sound means.
What does
it's
that mean?
Time to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. When you're on Facebook, check out our page, give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our junk if you would, please. You'll get Conrad's Unicorn Hunting features, all things automotive, all week long, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other goodies. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. In Wheel Time can also be heard and seen live on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central Time. 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider 7 days a week. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing, Advertising Manager, and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin. For Booking Agent and Podcast Editor, Mike Out of This World Mars, and Mr. Know-It-All is Royalty King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is produced by Bad Chad and his wife Jolene.
Wonderful.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure and join us again for the next 3-hour In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, December 10th, 2022, starting at 8 a.m. Central Time on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Have a great weekend. Until next time, Carla.